That's me. All right, we've got Dale coming in. Okay, I think we're live.
It
We'll
says
check
we
this
are.
out. Dale's coming in.
Hey,
Oh,
Dale.
it's Dale.
Hey, hey, Dale. Oh,
How's it going,
hey,
Dale?
Dale.
Hello, everyone. Welcome
Oh,
to
yeah.
Amy Seeks.
Dale, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi,
Well,
everyone.
That's too bad for you guys.
Hey,
Your
we're live. Just be careful.
We'll cope with it.
yeah, your volume is real strong, probably stronger than others. I don't know if we need to volume up or if you want to volume down, but we can
I
hear
don't
you
know
loud
how
and
I
clear.
volume down.
Buffy. It's
How do I
Sounds
volume?
good to me.
Sounds good.
Maybe if I,
Oh,
maybe
Sounds
what
good to
I
me.
should do is just point the microphone away from my mouth.
All right,
little
you
bit.
guys in the room, start letting us know how we
No,
all
it's too
sound.
low.
no, too low. Put it at nose height.
That's good.
Oh my lord. Okay. I don't know why, but she wants to say hi right now. There
Oh,
we go. Yeah. You go say hi?
When
This is so exciting.
when did you get back
yeah.
from your trip, Dale?
Monday, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. We had a great time, and I traded in Esmeralda for a new van, and so that was our first trip in a new van. I got a a high top van that I can stand up in because I'm tired of putting my pants on while I'm laying down. So so
I wish I could say I don't understand that, but I do.
yeah. It just when you're 73 it gets old. So we bought this new van. Well, it's new to us. It's a 2015 Ford Transit, and it was great. I mean, it ran perfect. We could keep it warm at night. I mean, some of those nights were below freezing,
Ooh.
and
Because you were all around some of the more desert areas, right? I mean, the
well, we
pictures
started
you
off.
sent
We
me
went
were
down to the
beautiful.
southwest. Yeah, we went down to the southwest, but then we moved up. We were going to go to Yellowstone, at least stop by there, but it was still closed.
It
So
was?
yeah, so we went to Cody, and then shot home from there. But it was a great trip. We took some roads we'd never been on before. We met some lovely people, and we saw some great petroglyphs, some gorgeous canyons, and didn't catch a single trout.
Wait, did you go fly fishing?
No,
Bobber?
that's probably why I didn't.
That's probably why.
Yeah,
Did you go bobber?
no, I didn't go
No.
fishing.
Okay. All right, so for those of you who are just joining us, we obviously have a pretty amazing panel tonight. We have Dal Neitzel, the intrepid and relentless former Thrill of the Chase searcher, and the creator of the best site for information on the Thrill of the Chase. Thank you for joining us, Dale. We also have Matt with us tonight. You also know him as Smell the Sunshine. He is also on YouTube and has some of the best analysis of Forrest Fenn, as well as contents of the chest and what it might be worth, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. We also have the very quiet but very informative Justin Posey sitting over there with Tucker, the bronze sniffing dog, in the background. And you can read about his extraordinary story on the New York Magazine. That's probably where you guys are familiar with him most. He definitely has the record for the boots on the ground time.
The biggest loser. That's me.
He is humbly the biggest loser. And then, of course, saving the best for last, we have Cynthia Meacham, holder of all of my secrets, and of course, an excellent YouTube channel with previously unknown Forrest Fenn footage. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Ignore that.
Let's go straight to Cynthia's secrets.
I'm sure it's very important. There we go. All right, so real quick. All right, so we've got some really great stuff for you guys tonight. Dale, are you still interested in sharing those potential emails?
Sure. I can talk about them anyway.
Okay.
I tried to look them up so that I could get the dates correctly and the wording properly, but I was not able to find the two that I think. But I think I may have, Cynthia. We talked about these before. Did I ever send you those emails, or did I just yap about them?
I have a gigantic archive folder with your name on it. I would have to look it up to see. But
Okay.
no doubt I have your words in some kind of a format.
Oh, okay. Because I couldn't remember if I actually copied and pasted them in an email to you, or
Actually, yes, you did.
oh, I
Now
did.
that you
So
mention
great. I mean, I still have them somewhere then.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're in my archives. Yes.
Cynthia
Okay.
is an impeccable record keeper, unfortunately for me.
Well, that's a good trait.
It is, especially in what we're doing right now.
Well, it depends on who she's keeping records on.
Well,
All
and
of us.
the funny thing is about anybody that has ever emailed me, and anyone who has ever talked to Forrest very much, I just loved it when Forrest used to say, "Make sure you delete this email." And you know what? I finally told Forrest before he died, nobody deletes your email. I have, and I know it's not just me. It doesn't matter
always
if you
did.
received an email from Forrest Fenn, you did not delete it. And I'm like that with everybody on this panel. I have archives folders with all your names.
Oh, good grief.
So
You
for
and the
anyone-
IRS.
For anyone viewing this, if you ever sent me an email, I got it.
Okay, cool.
Cynthia's blackmail folder.
No,
I think that was the name. I think I saw that. Cynthia's
no,
blackmail
that was the one
folder.
called, you know,
Right. The name we shall not say. Okay, before we dive in, I want to send a quick thank you to Dan Barbarisi. He is coming up with a book, Chasing the Thrill, and I'm going to go ahead and share this screen with you guys so you can figure out where you can purchase it. There we go. So Dan very graciously has decided to come on my show for an interview shortly after the book is launched. That should be fun. So get your questions ready, everyone. Chasing the Thrill. Go ahead, Dale.
Well, doesn't this mean that it is now available?
Not yet. Not yet. It is a pre-order. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh,
I'm trying to move
okay.
this out of the way. Pre-order.
I get it.
When does it come out, you guys?
18th.
There you go, the 18th. Pretty darn soon. And then obviously if you order the Kindle version, you get it immediately. If you order the physical book, it might take a little bit. So anyway, he's going to be coming on shortly after the book is launched for an interview. Cynthia will most likely be on as well. So so that should be a good time. So thank you very much, Dan.
Does he talk any about Cynthia's secrets in there? Are we going to find out things?
I think maybe.
Yeah.
Cynthia?
Okay.
Cynthia? Cynthia, are we going to need damage control?
I don't know what's going to happen. All I can say is people's opinion of me may change after this book comes out.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm not sure. We'll see what takes place.
Okay, so this is where I say, don't forget to like or dislike this video and click I can't even say it, and click subscribe because you know there's gonna be more. There you go. All right, Copper Dan, I see your text. Copper Dan, whenever you decide you want to do the giveaway. So this is what we're gonna be doing tonight as well. We have a giveaway thanks to Copper Dan, and I'll try and get this to focus. This is one of his solid copper coins. Absolutely
Oh,
beautiful.
those things are beautiful.
Aren't they? And they're heavy because they're real. It's seriously full. And he gave me one. Thank you. So we have a giveaway tonight. We're going to be doing that. Copper Dan, let us know when you want to do that. Before we talked about doing it mid-show, but if you want to do it now, that's fine too. You just chime in whenever you like. Oh, and a real quick shout out to A Gypsy's Kiss. They're the ones who are said that I could do these shows on Wednesday. So I'm going to show you guys what they are currently up to, if I can find it. Let's see here. Is this it? Yes, messages and methods. So for all of you second act people trying to figure things out in this digital existence, a lot of this, here we have Gap leaves seniors behind, Give My Mom a Mother's Day, Older Americans Month, Communities of Strength. So this is really a second act, making your way in the digital world kind of thing. And also, don't forget, you scroll down and we still have a ton of Forrest Fenn content, as well as, of course, the Jack Stoof call-ins and emails and texts. So anyway, thank you very much, Toby. The Wednesdays have been lovely. It's been great being able to use those. So messages and methods, that's him. I think that's it. Are we ready to dive in and try not to divulge too much?
I have a question about those copper pieces. What do we have to do to get one?
Okay, so Copper Dan made these for his treasure hunt. The treasure hunt may or may not have ended a little too soon. So he might have a few more of these. The giveaway tonight is actually already done with, although, you know...
What do you mean it's already done with?
Well,
nobody told me about it. I don't even have a chance to participate. Great.
What do you guys think? Should I put Dal Neitzel's... So this is the bowl. Here we go. Should I put Dale's name in the bowl? What do you guys think?
No, don't do that.
Give me a yes or no in chat.
Okay, but remember, Cynthia is keeping all this in her computer. So vote nicely.
Be kind, everyone. Yes or no? What do you think? I can grab a... Wait, I have a piece of paper. I'm doing it now. Forget it. I'm doing it now.
So, Amy, how did the names get into the drawing? How does a person get a name in there?
You had to... So, according to the last show, the way that Copper Dan... That sounds more operatic. I apologize. Copper Dan... the way he said it, he said, comment on her last video, and you'll be entered in.
Oh, okay.
So I had to do physical writing. Here we go. But I'm writing Dale's name. Are you ready? Here we go.
I think that's cheating.
Dale's cheating. Noted. Dale.
Yeah. So what's new? You're not the first person to accuse me of cheating. I have an entire blog full of folks accusing me of that.
There we go. There we go. And I'm saying
you spelled it right.
There you go.
Hey, I'm part German, so the Neitzel part's easy.
Which part?
Neitzel. Dale. Neitzel.
Which part
And
of
the Dale
you?
part I learned a long time ago. Even though Forrest always got it wrong. Dal. By the way, while you're here, thank you so much for being so kind at me totally screwing up the interview that you were doing with Forrest that one day. Where he never looked at the camera.
Well, gee, what was he looking at?
Here we go. Ready? There we go.
Okay.
All right, he's entered. And we have a whole bunch of yeses. Yes. There you go, Dale. Apparently you are still loved.
So you can see.
One that voted no.
Yeah. Once again.
Cynthia, what am I going to do with you?
So you're the only one who can see those texts. We can't see them, huh?
Wait, which text?
The things that folks are saying alongside.
Oh, so I pull up. There we go. I pull up the screen, and then everyone. So if you pull up the video, you can actually see it, but it's helpful to have a separate iPad. Uh-oh. We have a troublemaker who wants to enter the room. Should we let him in?
Is it Dan?
It might be.
Yeah, sure.
It's not Shiloh. Oh, there he is.
It's
In
not.
all
Oh,
the
kick that
glory.
guy out. Kick him
Not
out.
together.
I couldn't take it anymore. I've been wanting to meet Dale for a long time. I'm like, come on now.
Have you never met Dale?
Nope.
My goodness. Hot dog
Jay-
extraordinaire.
Jason, don't you feel lonely? You're the only guy with hair.
Justin.
That's
Dustin, I'm sorry.
All right.
You're the only guy who has a second name.
That's funny because everybody calls me Jason. They just forget my name's Justin. So I'm
Sometimes I
used
call
to
him
it.
Dustin. It's Dustin, Jason.
That's a very
Yeah.
interesting observation.
Sounds like I'm due for a head shave.
I
Yeah.
think so, Justin. I think
Join
we
the
should
club.
do that live.
It'd have to be a lot more than a copper coin to get me to do that. So better start
you
pantying
sure?
up. Yeah, I'm
Are
pretty
you sure? I mean, it's pretty dang.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
pretty
actually
cool.
pretty cool. I'll mull it over. How's that?
Amy, you don't have to do it now. You can do it whatever. You can just pretend I'm not here for a while.
You tell me, when should we do the drawing?
Well, if you
Well,
want to keep your audience, you need to do it towards the end.
Yeah. I think you should. Wait for a
Like
while.
people are really going to stay on just to see if they won.
I am.
That's right. Dale's name is now in that. Should I put Cynthia's name, Justin, Matt? I don't think
No.
they're in it.
You're gonna have to
No,
bribe us to
that's
stay
okay.
on the show. I mean, otherwise we're just gonna start dropping off.
That's right.
I am
Yeah.
not above bribing. I mean,
Just
come on. How do you think I got this show in the
Yeah, I
first
think
place?
everybody who's on this should be in except for Dan.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, hold on.
But only one name for Justin or Jared or whatever his name is.
The J guy.
Hey, guy.
Hey, did you talk with that guy today? From yes, you did. He mentioned that you were on with Tyler.
Oh yeah, buddy of mine. That's right. Yeah, I told him to hassle you as much as he could. So I hope
He
he followed
did.
through.
Epic.
Good.
Epic. Hi, Hooli. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a question from Hooli already to Cynthia. Sorry if this was already asked. Did Cynthia get an email from Jack Stoof? Like an unquestioned email, or what kind of email?
You mean the one with the numbers that started 44 and the other one started with a 110?
Yeah, that's the one.
Shoot.
Well, and then each email had
Cheers.
different numbers in it. Kidding. I wish.
My God.
I
This is a
wish.
good show.
Didn't happen.
Hi, Wave Seeker. Old silo on the form. Okay, let's see if I missed any questions. Nomadic Mammon, are you heading to a party after this? Always. There's always an after party.
I think there's some confusion there. Amy is the party. So no need to go anywhere. She's a destination.
I've actually learned with my Enneagram that apparently I am in the category of enthusiast. So
There you go.
I won't deny it or confirm it. Could you ask if anyone on the panel is going to write a book? Pretty sure no one would
I would
want
think
to read anything I wrote. Copper?
got nothing to say. I'm
Dale?
going to write a book on how to turn copper into gold.
By the way, when we do the giveaway, I'm going to show your website and everything about it. So, I'm just saying that Copper Dan may have other things in the works that may or may not come to fruition, and you may or may not want to keep track of that.
Oh, they
Why
are
do you
going
think
to.
I have a PI tailing him? I want to know where he's headed.
Copper, if you see a black sedan following you,
You're right. And black helicopters from up above and drones.
Speaking of books, I've got a question for Dale. Dale, you were thinking about writing a book about Forrest, right? And you were beginning to do some research. Is that right?
I don't know, call it dementia, but I don't remember that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, are you referring to his biography?
Whatever you were working on, I had heard. I don't think we've ever talked about it, but I think I had heard that you had something in the very early stages, or maybe you were just feeling it out.
I think the only thing I ever admitted to being involved in writing was Forrest's biography. But
I love his choice of words that I admitted to.
but
And speak.
that folded. That did
Yeah.
that did not occur.
I'm curious, were you going to start in a very traditional way and talk about grandparents and parents and then Tyler, Texas, or did you ever have an idea for a first chapter that, put you in an F-100 or something like that, where you were kind of in the middle of the story and then you back up? Had you gotten that
Yeah.
far?
F4.
Yeah, actually, I wrote several chapters, but they weren't. I didn't start in the beginning. I started with the easiest stuff first, and I figured I could shuffle them around as long as they were like independent essays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I figured in the end I could shuffle them around the way I wanted, and maybe I would write a whole different beginning for the book than any of the chapters that I was going to write. But I wrote probably 6 chapters. I don't remember how many different chapters of Forrest's,
6 chapters.
based on our interviews and things. Oh no, there were a lot of chapters. I mean, this was like scrapbooks. I mean, there were going to be 100 chapters in this book. I mean, Forrest led a relatively complicated life. He did so many things.
Yeah.
That it was fun, but dealing with Forrest while he had the chase going on was very, very difficult because he would clam up so much. Because I think he thought, I don't think he thought, I know that he did not want to give out any information. And so, it's pretty hard to write a biography for somebody about somebody if they aren't going to talk to you about themselves. And Forrest would clam up. He would simply not answer questions. It didn't seem to me like it was anything relevant to the chase, but he just would clam up. And so that was very, very frustrating for me. So I stopped.
You got to make a list of all the clam up questions. Maybe you can.
Dale, you have a good story though about Forrest talking about his father. If you want to share that, or maybe you don't. I thought it was really, I don't know. I guess I thought it was heartfelt.
Well, one of the last interviews that I conducted with Forrest, and this never got published, but we were talking about his dad, because I thought, mostly that a lot of Forrest's personal problems were related to the way he was brought up. I mean, that's certainly true in my case, and I figured it was probably true in his case as well. And so we talked for a long time in his backyard out in the sun about his relationship with his father. I don't know if any of you ever noticed this about Forrest's family or not, but if you hung out with Forrest for any length of time and any of his family walked in, and Cynthia will back me up on this, Amy probably can too, they all called him Sir, with the exception of Peggy.
Yes.
It was like we were
the
Really?
grandchildren.
Yeah, everybody
Yes.
referred to him as Sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. I'll get right to that, sir. I mean,
Yes.
and I understand it's respectful, but I can't remember. In my family, I think we were a lot closer than me calling my dad sir. I mean, I'd call my dad sir if he came after me with a ball bat, but other than that, I mean, he was dad, and I called him Dad. Nobody did that. Nobody called him Pop or Grandpop or
It was
Daddy-O
Grandpa.
or
It was
anything.
Grandpa.
It was Sir.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
Well,
And
I've
But
heard his
Forrest-
daughters, though, call him Dad. I mean, to
Oh.
his face, he'd say, Dad, we're going to go get lunch. Do you want us to get you something? But the grandchildren, for sure, called him Sir.
yeah. Okay. But anyway, I kind of wondered about that a little. It seemed like there was a distance there.
Forrest actually told me about that once.
What?
So I asked him because for me, my grandpa was Grandpa, and I saw there was still this intimacy between him and his grandkids, but it was a Sir thing. And I said, what's with that? And he talked about it being a respect thing for them being good people in the future, but it didn't limit the intimacy thing as far as feeling comfortable and happy around him. Right? So, because I was just like, what the hell was that? Right? Cynthia, you're nodding your head. Did you have a similar, like what was your experience with that?
Yeah, same. I agree with what you're saying.
It
I
was
don't know if there's like a
surprising.
regional aspect to it as well, but what I've noticed, just compared to, growing up in the Southwest and then being up in the Northwest for a while, several years, and then coming down to Texas, I noticed that more in Texas. Just that sort of dynamic within the family. It's just anecdotal experience that I've had here, but certainly it seems more pervasive here.
It could be. It could be a Texas thing. You're right. Pardon?
I have a quick question
I
from
thought it was
Trips.
military related, but maybe not.
I think it's more Southern related.
Yeah, could be. Texas.
One of the things that Forrest said was that he always referred to his father as Sir. He always called him Sir, and that it was simply a sign of respect.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know that. Even his dad?
Mm-hmm.
See, it's interesting for me because, my grandpa was Grandpa, right? But when I would see his grandkids interact with him, it was just as intimate as it was when I would interact with my grandpa. So I'm like, obviously the Sir thing is superfluous to that distance thing, as far as feeling comfortable and happy around him. You know what I mean? I mean, my grandpa, it was like, he would sing me songs and I just felt like the world, it just felt wonderful being around my grandpa. And it seemed to be similar with Forrest. And yet the Sir thing was there, which confused me. So Dale, is there any potential for putting out the information, the biography stuff that you have accumulated so far? Because I can only imagine that people would, like when Cynthia talks about, I don't know if people would be interested in the stuff I have with Forrest. With the, what was the stories of, closet stories of Taos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any potential that you're thinking about maybe even producing what you have so far?
Not in that way. I mean, I'm certainly never going to attempt to write a biography of Forrest. I just don't know enough about him. I wish I did, and that's just not going to happen. But there are other stories that Forrest told that I have, and I would like to put those out in some way. I haven't figured out how yet. I resist doing anything that actually takes effort. So
Give them to Matt.
yeah, it's a good idea.
Sorry, Matt.
Ooh, a collaboration.
But
Matt has an amazing NPR voice.
yeah,
Although you have an amazing NPR voice too.
yeah, I can even say NPR backwards, by the way. I mean, I'm very skilled.
I miss you so much.
So at any rate, I would like to do something with the other material that I have, yes, but it's not going to resemble a book in any way, shape, or form.
So
That's
maybe
just entirely too much effort.
more like Cynthia's done, little clips and stuff on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's certainly many pieces of interview that we did that have never seen the light of day. But there's also new material, brand new material, not material from interviews, but there's brand new material. There's stuff he sent me that was never turned into anything, and that's because it wasn't. We talked about that for a while, like the closet stories thing I sent you.
Closet
You know,
stories of
where
towns.
does this fit? I mean, so okay, yes, I can put this on the blog, but how do we do this? And you remember, well, maybe you don't remember, but there were other categories of writing beside the scrapbooks that were on the blog that Forrest wrote. There were 6 or 7 different categories, I think. And for a while, we did that because, well, this isn't a scrapbook. What is this? Oh, let's call it this, or let's call it that. And so we had several different categories of Forrest's writings.
Right. Apparitions.
Yeah,
Scrapbooks.
right.
Yes.
And that worked out. And then all of a sudden there'd be something new, and I said, well, where does this fit in? And I'm a kind of a guy who needs things to fit in, and this stuff wasn't fitting in anywhere. And so what do I do with it? So you'd go to sleep on it, and then 5 days later I'd forget about it, and so it was never published on the blog, but it could be published on the
Forrest
blog.
Fenn. Oh my God! Do you know how much people would love that? Yes, we'd love
Yes.
that. I have to
I'll
do a
answer the
quick
question.
shout out.
Yes.
A really quick shout out to Christy B. Curator. Check out her channel. She has an awesome channel. Hopefully she's kept it up too. She asked if I take bribes. Of course I do. Are you kidding me? And a huge shout out too to Rooster Cogburn, Amy. Rooster Cogburn, Amy, thanks for keeping the chase classy. Well, I always say, keep it classy, San Diego. So thank you.
I see with a K.
That's damn straight. Thank you very much, you guys. Those are my first super chats, and I am humbled, hugely humbled. Okay, back to previously unknown Forrest Fenn stuff. Oh, what's that, Copper Dan?
I was gonna say, wait a minute, super chat meant you were over 1,000 subscribers, and I just looked and you are over 1,000 subscribers. Well, this calls for a super chat.
Congratulations.
Thank you, you guys. Of course, obviously, it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the subscribers and YouTube for saying, yes, you did it legally. I was, it's like there's been this huge boost of subscribers in the past 30 days. And I'm just like blown away. You guys are pretty amazing. And I looked at the analytics, and there's a lot in Europe and Japan and places like that. So again, Ohio, because I'm also hello to all of you guys watching from across the pond or the other pond. Okay, so let's see some questions from chat. Thoughts from the panel on Shiloh's comments Monday night.
Oh boy.
So Dale, how aware of you are? I can't.
Start over.
I'm vaguely aware of most everything.
Hopefully you're not too aware, because otherwise you wouldn't want to be on my panel. But as far as how aware are you of what has happened in the past? What is it? Well, Monday, so 48 hours, is it right?
I if you're talking about the Shiloh's appearance on the, yeah, I've heard about that.
There's
in
rumors
fact, just a
going
few
around.
hours ago, somebody mentioned that to me.
Somebody.
Oh, wait! Don't tell me. Somebody has accused me of being Shiloh. No. Oh, okay.
Well, we're not gonna go that far.
Should I start the rumor? I can start that rumor. No problem. It'd be no problem. There we go, panel. What do you guys think of the recent Shiloh event?
Appearance.
Thank you, Dale.
I thought it was great. He set the record straight. he actually finally made contact with the search community. So kudos to Shiloh for finally getting tired of the bullshit and actually coming out and saying so. I
First
love it.
contact.
Amy, I think you should get him on for an interview.
I'm pretty sure that would be a cold hard pass. I just to have an intuition.
Yeah, you
on
never
that.
know. All you can do is ask. And I knew you. I was kind of half kidding, but why not?
Wait a minute, Amy. Are you saying you'd pass or he'd pass?
I'm sure he would pass. I'm guessing.
I don't know. He's obviously paying attention. He obviously wants to. He obviously has some things he'd like to set straight. He's looking for a way to do it. Maybe he would say yes.
That's true. I will ask him. Cynthia?
What?
Wake up, Cynthia.
No, my comment is no. I'm happy that Charlotte came on to, address the bullshit.
That was pretty cool. I caught the latter half of it, the very end of it, and it was pretty amazing. That's
And if Jack won't, if Shiloh won't be on your show, ask Jack again.
Who?
Jack.
There's this guy named Jack.
Jack the Finder.
Oh, that
It's the
guy.
other guy that has J in his name.
The guy I constantly refer to as Jack the Jerk. Is that who we're talking about?
Oh, by the way, Dale, just in case Jack watches the YouTube show, just to say.
And you are now officially on the shoot list. I'm being good. Look at that. I didn't curse. You're welcome, everyone. All right, so there are some Amy Seeks. I'm going to try and catch up. Nomadic Madman, Amy Seeks, say something about the latest conspiracy. Maybe Shiloh will correct you.
Yeah, that's the way to get him on your show.
Right, yep. Okay, Fisherman, Amy Seeks, can you please follow up on 2 trips? Question for Dale. Never give up. Oh, right. Never give up. Don't even think about it. So, when you shut down your blog, that was a quote from there.
Yep.
Talk about that.
Yeah. I don't understand why people are giving me crap about that. Look at, it's just about, don't stop looking. We don't know where it was found. If you think that you know where it was found, don't give up. Don't stop just because somebody else got there first. Keep looking until you're sure that your area is right or is wrong. Don't give up. That's all I'm at.
That was beautifully said. Like,
Want me to say it
making me
again?
Cry.
No.
Another take.
Is this like?
It was no hidden meaning. I'm not a Republican. I wasn't trying to say anything that ex-President Trump might have said. I was simply saying about this search, don't give up. Just keep going at it until you know the answer.
Are those your words, or did Forrest email those to you on September 5th?
Just lie to us, Dale. Dale, lie to us. We need it so bad. He's gonna take a drink first.
No, there was.
Might need something stronger.
Yeah. No, there was nothing from Forrest in that.
Okay, I have some big blow-ups here. I can't believe it. I only just recently enabled Super Chat, and oh my gosh, we're getting all these Super Chats from 3D Bronze. Hello, Dal Neitzel. My name is 3D Bronze. By the way, 3D Bronze has made...
Is this a relative of yours, Copper Dan?
No, actually. But we've become good friends. But no, he actually lives out in your neck of the woods. He lives in Washington.
He does.
He lives
and he says...
south of you. I think it's by Portland, I think.
Around there. I will say around there. He says, hope to one day meet you and shake your hand, Dale. P.S. Be careful around Copper Dan. Character.
I already know that. I already know all about copper tan. You know, there's a boutique, wonderful gallery off the island down the road a piece from me, and they carry Copper Dan's work. And I have to say, the stuff that he puts out there commands an incredible price. I certainly can't afford it.
Okay, I just have to.
Well-
I'm about to cry. We have $5 from Mr. Cogburn for luck. We have $10 from Rudy Green for congratulations on 1K, and we have $50. Oh my God! From Copper Dan. Okay, Copper Dan, we're pulling your. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I've got your stuff pulled up somewhere to show everyone your beautiful. Sorry, I'm gonna.
We're on a different subject now. It's not about me.
Oh my God! I'm sorry.
Well, what Dale just said, you know, my stuff commands a lot of money, so I just wanted to pass some of it on.
Okay. When we do the giveaway, we're pulling up your website to show your amazing work. Oh my God, Copper Dan. Copper Dan just gave $50, and Cal Lazars, oh my God, gave 20.
Oh, Amy, you just wait. What I just saw pop up.
God.
Going out of
Oh
the
my
water.
God, Wave Seeker. Oh my God, I can't take this.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody want to explain to the nitwit Dale what's going on here?
People are sending
Sending
in
money.
It's now become a contest to see who can send in the biggest super chat.
Oh my God, I
What
can't
was the
breathe.
last one, Amy? How much?
$100.
$100?
By the way, you only get 70 of that. 30%. Okay, we've completely. Amy, Matt, you want to take the show over?
Right.
That was the end of Amy.
Dale, if Amy were to beg you to publish one of those 6 chapters, and you said yes, I'm going to do it, where would you publish it?
That's part of the problem. You know, I don't have a blog anymore. If I had a blog, all this stuff would be up on it, but I just I don't have an outlet right now, so I don't know what I'd do with it. Yeah, maybe
Well,
somebody's
you
got
have-
an idea.
You have several channels at your disposal, Cynthia and Matt, and I can't thank you guys enough. I'm sorry.
I do have a question for you, Dale. You know, when I first got into the chase back in the day, and your site was really the only place that I could go to find, you know, valid information. It was like the chase Bible to me, so to speak. And I found just an incredible amount of value in it. And I really appreciated your time and
Thank you.
dedication to keeping it running. I'm just curious, like, I know you had your reasons for shutting it down, but I mean, do you ever find yourself kind of missing that outlet or having a way to
Absolutely.
communicate with folks? Yeah.
Absolutely. What I don't miss is the work. I mean, I've confessed this before. That blog kept me busy 6-8 hours a day. And I'm not making that up.
Wow.
Thank God my employer never came upstairs to figure out what I was doing all the time. You know, and it cost money. I mean, it did cost quite a bit of money to keep that blog going. So between those two reasons, I really had to step away from it, and it didn't seem like it seemed at the time like that was the appropriate time to do it. I mean, Forrest was gone, Peggy was gone, the chest was found, Jack the jerk was not talking, and you know, I just didn't have anything, any reason to keep it going anymore. It seemed like everything that I had to say was said. Yet here I am saying more, you know.
Well, why don't you tell us about your true feelings on the subject of Jack? Let's go ahead.
It's, you know, I say that I don't mean to be cruel. I don't mean to be, you know, we do things sometimes just, I don't know Jack well. I don't know him at all, actually. But it's just a way to tease him. it isn't meant with any hard feelings. I'm I I don't hold any grudge against Jack for the way he's handled this. I I I tease people sometimes. Just Forrest used to do this constantly. Forrest would tease people.
Yes,
It's
he
just
did.
it's the way sometimes people pat one another on the back. It's I don't think it's a male only thing, but males do it a lot. Like they used to say in the fire department, if somebody isn't making fun of you, they don't like you.
My grandpa was a firefighter.
Yeah,
Yes.
and a lot of the military is that way too. And that's all I'm doing with Jack. I don't mean to. I don't really think Jack is a jerk. Okay, yes I do. But
But why? But you have to say why.
well, because he has the only two things I want to know about the chase. What was the solution and where was it at? Those are the only two things I care about, and he's the only one who knows, and he's not talking about it. He's a jerk. I'm sorry.
Basically, okay, I have a
I-
question. If you could sign an NDA and know the location and then never talk about it, is that something you would do?
Oh, sure, I'd sign it, but they'd end up throwing me in jail because there's no way I could keep that secret.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I think we would visit you in jail.
Well, thank you.
I
Can
would
you
totally give
zoom
you
from
banana
jail?
bread.
I think we could get enough super chats to bail you out.
God. 3D
I'll tell you.
dots.
I'll tell
Oh,
you.
no.
Here's how Forrest would tease people a lot, and I've never confessed to this before, except to Cynthia, I think. Oh, maybe there've been a couple other folks I mentioned this to, but Forrest told me, and I can't remember what year, 2014 maybe. Do you remember what year I ever claimed that was, Cynthia?
So you claimed what?
Yeah, it's still.
Yeah.
What?
Forrest told me at one point, I think it was around 2014, that I was within 100 yards of the chest. Yeah. I never admitted that to anybody, but it's the truth.
Wait. 100 yards in 2014, and where were you
Right.
searching?
Yeah.
Please tell me it wasn't New Mexico.
So the way he did this, and I'm talking about teasing here. So I went to visit Forrest. I was going to film some more interviews with him, and I had been up in Yellowstone, and I came down to see Forrest, and I walked into his house, shook his hand, and Forrest said, "So where have you been?" And I told him all the places I'd been looking, and the places and he said, "Well, where have you? But where else have you been? And so I started telling him, where that I drove through this place, and I visited this museum, and I visited that museum." And Forrest said, "Okay," and he doesn't say anything for 2 days. I'm at Forrest's house for 2 days, and we're shooting interviews and talking, and I'm visiting with some of his friends. 2 days later, I go to leave. As I'm walking out the door of his house, Forrest says, "Oh, by the way, I just wanted to mention you've been within 100 yards of the chest."
What? What?
I said,
What?
"Excuse me?" He said, "You've been within 100 yards of the chest."
He repeated it?
Yes. And I said, and I didn't know, I said, "Well, thanks, Forrest." I didn't know what to say. I was like
I know the feeling.
stupefied. And
Yes.
and I left. And part of my personality is, you just try to act nonchalant when somebody
Yes.
throws you a curve like that.
Yes.
You try to act like, they're trying to get at you. They're looking for a reaction, so you're not going to give them one. And so I got in Ezzy and I drove out of there. And I'm thinking about all of the places I told him I had been 2 days ago. which ones did I mention? I mean, I could vaguely remember some of them, but I couldn't be precise. Anyway, and Forrest added something to that, by the way. He said, I didn't say you were necessarily searching in that area. You could have driven by. Okay, I just put, 4,000 miles on Esmeralda. So, I'm like, I'm drawing 100-yard line around all the roads that I traveled on the map, Oh, yeah. Oh. And I'm thinking about all these places.
Mexico, right?
And at this point, I'm considering the possibility that that the chest needs to be near someplace where Forrest fished. I mean, I always thought that. I still think that. And
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking about all these roads and where they cross good places to fish, and I'm thinking, yeah, and I'm stopping. It takes me like 6 days to get up to Yellowstone from Santa Fe because I'm stopping every place there's a trout stream, and I'm, I've completely forgotten about the solution. Begin at where warm water salt. Who cares about that? Dale was within 100 yards. It's got to be along this road somewhere, And I'm anyway. I get really frustrated with this whole idea, and I'm in some really mosquito fly infested places looking for Forrest's chest, and it's hot, and I don't do good in heat, and I send Forrest an email. I say, Forrest, I know what you mean now. I was within 100. I'm thinking like a crazy searcher, and I'm saying I know what you mean now. It wasn't that I was within 100 meters of the chest or 100 yards of the chest. It's that I was within 100 people's yards, their backyards of the chest. I don't know what this means. Today, I have no idea what this means, but I actually wrote him that. And Forrest wrote me back and he said, I said, are you serious that I was within 100 yards? And Forrest said, where all were you at? And so I wrote it out, and I think this is the one I gave Cynthia. Yeah, he asked me where I was, and so I wrote it out. I wrote out all the places I had been, and Forrest sent me a note back, and I think his words were something to the effect that I believe what he said was, you have been within 100 yards of the chest. And I mean, I have to tell you, that was a terrible cross to bear. It sounds like helpful information, but it was not helpful information because I had been in so many areas. I had been in that it was practically useless, except it gave me one useful piece of information, and that was I did not have to look any place I had not been. I could throw out Denver. I could throw out the north part of Yellowstone National Park because I'd never been up there.
You've never been to the north part?
That's right.
Yellowstone?
I'd never been
What's
to
the north part?
Well, I'll tell you, for one thing, Slough Creek.
Cynthia.
I'd never been there, and that was not an area I ever mentioned to Forrest I was at.
So Dale, when you wrote to him and you said the places that you'd been, was it more just kind of your driving route, or did you say that you were actually outside of the car? Or
no, it was an itinerary. I said from the place I took off from my house, the road I took, where I stopped. I mean, it included Idaho and Oregon and Washington, places he wouldn't care about, but I was trying to be precise.
Wow.
Now, I want to tell you something else. My good friend Creighton Fenn, who is Forrest's nephew. Creighton visits Forrest every Christmas. And when Creighton next visited Forrest, Forrest told him that I was within 100 feet of the chest. And I said, no, Creighton, he told me it was 100 yards. And Creighton said, he told me 100 feet.
That could be just hypothetically because he knew, maybe more in depth the areas that you were
But
searching in
Creighton-
particular, not just driving. Yeah. Interesting.
Does this mean the chest is within 100 yards of a road?
What's your interpretation?
Well, I
Dale?
don't know, whether does it mean that? It could mean that if I just drove by it. But I mean, I also searched some areas too.
Oh, okay. You did. Well,
Yeah,
Okay.
and I watched, for what 5-6 more years, I watched people submit ideas that as far as I know couldn't be right. Now the question
Right,
is, was
right, of
Forrest
course.
teasing me?
Right.
What was he teasing me? And I really was nowhere near the chest at any time, or was he teasing me with some information
So we have
just
100
because he knew it would
yards,
drive me crazy?
because we have 100 yards versus what Creighton says, which was 100 feet.
Yeah, but
And
even
the difference being like the first time that you wrote, you kind of gave him his itinerary, and so he's saying based on that itinerary, it's 100 yards. But then later on, Creighton, knowing just more around where you'd searched, I'm sure you might have conveyed to Forrest since then other areas that you'd searched in more detail. Maybe he was able to hone that in more. Is that
could
kinda
be.
what
I
I'm
mean,
getting?
could have been a difference between what I told him originally and what I wrote him.
Yeah.
And I mean, but nonetheless, it was very exciting. But at the same time, as you are well aware, it did not help Nitwit
Completely
Dale
frustrating.
find the chest.
And a real quick shout out. So Rudy Green, Rooster Cogburn, Copper Dan, huge Calazars, thank you. And of course, Wave Seeker, $100. My mind is blown. Best channel on the chase by far. Great panel, Amy. And 3D Bronze, I do not condone Jack the Jerk. So, because I have to say real quick that if I were Jack, I probably would have wanted to stay anonymous. As well, because I was so terrified of the 7%ers. So I have to say I'm on Jack's side with that, but I get the joke. Okay, real quick, K-Pro, how many places were in Wyoming Amy seeks? 3D Bronze, what's the book that's the book we want, Dal Neitzel. So Dale, you're getting a lot of support as far as potentially writing a book with what you did with the interviews with Forrest. Hooley, at Dale, would you consider publishing that email?
If I
Yeah.
could find it, I would consider putting it in whatever else I ever
that's
write.
kind
Yeah.
of.
But there are other emails too that people would be interested in. Here's one. Cynthia knows about this one too. When I point to you, Cynthia, well, you can't tell I'm pointing at you, but but Cynthia knows
Just
about this one too.
pretend.
Cynthia and I have corresponded about our exchanges with Forrest for many years, and we've often told each other things that we haven't told other people. Well, I don't know whether Cynthia has told me things she hasn't, but I've certainly shared
That
things
happens.
with Cynthia that I haven't. And I had to. I mean, there was just all kinds of crap that had happened. I had to share it with somebody who knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Here's one. Back, March. Does anybody remember that horrible story that appeared in March of 2020?
Which one?
About in Popular Mechanics of all places, Caroline DeMoss or DeMort, can't remember what her name was, wrote this terrible article and accused Forrest of being a forger,
Oh, like the
among other things,
hoary stuff?
and blamed him for the deaths anyway, it was just a horrible story. That happened. That story was published on March 21st. It came at a time when things were not very lovely about the chase. People were accusing Forrest of deaths, and and of not hiding the chest to begin with, and all kinds of crap like that. And it was beginning to build up on him. And on March 27th, 6 days later, Forrest wrote me a note, and he said, "I'm thinking about ending the chase. What do you think?" And I didn't think it was a good idea for him to end the chase at that particular time, because I thought if he ends the chase now, people are going to say it was all a hoax to begin with, and this proves it. And I used that argument, and I threw in a couple other arguments for reasons that I didn't think it was a good idea. And Forrest would often do this with me, and I don't know, he probably did it with other people too. But he would use me as a sounding board before he did things. And anyway, I said no. That's a terrible idea. Things will just go south from here if you do that. And he obviously did not end the chase. But here's something to play with. I think about this. I have no evidence of this whatsoever. But I do know that Forrest was he was taking a lot of heavy stuff at that point from everywhere, including his family. You remember, a lot of his family didn't think this was a good idea to begin with. They knew something about what could go wrong with this whole thing that Forrest didn't seem to think about. I mean, Forrest liked to say that he thought of everything, but he certainly never thought anybody was going to die looking for his chest. And
Randy.
And that stuff was just beginning to build up after 9 years of that. I mean, if his family wishing that things didn't happen the way they did, that nobody was going to run over and try and steal his granddaughter because they thought she was the chest. That they didn't have to pull guns on somebody in his own yard. That they didn't have to call the cops 5 or 6 times because people were breaking into the yard.
Or constantly around the house.
Yeah. I mean, this is not stuff that Forrest ever considered, and rightfully so. Today, all of us would consider this if we ever tried to do that. But at that time, it was just out of the question. People just aren't that crazy and aren't that stupid, but they are. And this stuff was mounting and mounting and mounting on Forrest. And I think that note he sent me about ending the chase is evidence of that. Shortly after that, right, a few months later, this guy named Jack finds the chest. Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's at all possible or at all likely that Forrest chose Jack to find the chest, to end the chase that he wanted to end? It's a possibility. He couldn't choose Cynthia.
Sure he could have. What the hell? He retired. I could have gone.
He couldn't choose anybody who was well known in the chase. That would have raised all kinds of problems. And maybe he chose Jack. Maybe he guided Jack into the solution. Maybe he out and out told Jack what the solution is. I mean, it's just a thought. I certainly don't have any evidence of this, and I'm not trying to start a conspiracy theory. I just wonder about it from time to time. I don't give it any real credence, but I wonder about it from time to time. I wish Forrest was still around so I could ask him that question, and so I could tease him,
That was one of the things that I believe that Charlo addressed Monday night, was that Jack.
Well, that was about an intervention. That was about an intervention.
No, he
right?
actually, I believe, had an exchange with someone where he said that Jack had no help.
There was no nudge, is
Yeah.
I think,
Well, I'll tell you, Creighton said the same thing.
yeah.
So,
I mean, maybe I'm mincing words, but like, I mean, so I think intervention might be a little of a heavy-handed word, but it sounds like there might have been, as you mentioned, some heavy stuff going on, in all directions. And I'm sure his family was at least mildly upset about the situation in general and just the toll that it's taken on them. So
They
are you
went
saying
through
that
so
there might
much.
have just been maybe some pressure from the family as well, or no?
oh, I think there was pressure from the family from day one. Although, it started out light. I mean, they didn't think this was a good idea. At least this is what Forrest has mentioned to me. And from what I could see, my interactions with the family were very minor. I'm not privy to what went on there all the time, but I'll tell you, half the time I was over there at Forrest's, somebody from the family, one of the daughters, or one of the daughters specifically, one of his daughters, would walk in, or the other one, and they would say, and Peggy would do this too, when are you going to find the chest and get this over with?
Yes.
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 And they weren't joking.
Yeah. The family had to put up with the worst of it. Forrest got the good and the bad. The family got the bad.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, and Forrest
wasn't fair.
himself got tired of the constant his phone ringing and people he didn't know asking him questions or trying to give him solutions or wanting to borrow $1,000 or whatever. I mean, it was constant and
It was constant.
from the media and the press. Remember at the end there he'd given up talking to the press all completely.
Right.
For a while, everyone knows he gave up writing scrapbooks too. He was just tired of it. It was exhausting for him, and I'm sure that negativity was exhausting for his family when it affected them. And I do believe that they told him, that they didn't think this was a good idea right at the very beginning. But Forrest pretty set and and pretty stubborn
And determined.
he wanted to do it.
Very determined.
And
Yeah,
I'm
what
glad
did you
he
think
I'm
about
glad
the
he did.
ending? I mean, when he made that announcement, saying, "Hey, the chest has been found" and everything.
By the
What
way,
are your
hi to
thoughts there? I
Kathy.
mean, do you feel like it was the Forrest Fenn style? I mean, I kind of got the impression personally that there wasn't as much jubilation or excitement as I would have expected. Was it just because he maybe was disappointed or embarrassed? I don't know.
Real quick,
That's interesting. I never thought about that. So you missed a celebratory tone in his announcement?
oh,
Me
right, of
personally,
course.
a little
He was-
bit, yeah.
It was more
Yeah.
monotone than celebratory. That's true. Real quick though, I just really quick because I'm getting super chats that are blowing my mind. Which after watching K-Pro, I know you're supposed to talk about these real quick. So Packer Jack says there's a reunion vibe of Scooby-Doo with Dale ready to drive his mystery van. Justin is Shaggy with Tucker as Scooby. Time to take the hood off, Jack. We have Wave Seeker $5. Amy, if you get Dale to detail his Yellowstone searches, you'll get another Benjamin. And then this huge super chat from Rudy Green, 110.93. No, I don't think Forrest ended the chase. The evidence doesn't lead there. But thanks for the great panel. Calazars, Mike. Oh my God, Mike, $10. Dale, was there a family meeting rather than intervention regarding ending the chase that you were aware of?
No, not that I'm aware of.
There you go. And Rooster Cogburn, holy chit. Dale is providing closure. Okay, sorry. Go on. Holy crap. Thank you so much for the super chats.
So-
Had no idea what was happening.
So Dale, have you ever, now that you know it's Wyoming, have you ever went back through your notes of what that email you sent Forrest with, and then went, okay, this is the most likely spot of Wyoming that it would be in.
Yeah, of course. But my information is no better than anybody else's out there, right now.
Well, it would certainly. I mean, you said you didn't search in the north part of Yellowstone, so I mean that is.
Yeah, sure. And I didn't,
If we are to believe Forrest wasn't just being, wise with you,
yeah,
in that he was telling you the truth, that is definitely could narrow down the search area for people that are still going out looking for something.
yeah. And now that I've said this, and Jack's going to say, yeah, it was found someplace I've never been and never talked with Forrest about. That just makes me look like even a bigger jerk than I am. So
So it's Dale the jerk.
so it becomes Dale the dummy.
Hashtag Dale the dummy.
You got to have alliteration there. It doesn't count.
Point taken.
So yeah, I've played with that a lot, and I have my own, and I've expressed this with Cynthia. We talked a little bit about it, where I think the most likely spot is based on what Forrest told me and what Forrest has said about the location. But what the hell? How do I know?
So the question lies in, was Forrest teasing you? Or, I mean,
Yeah,
if it
and you
came
remember.
through Creighton,
Yeah,
that gives it more legitimacy, doesn't it?
And well, okay, and I'll tell you one other thing. Here's something.
Yeah.
Cynthia knows about this too.
Cynthia's over there looking all
Under
innocent.
the
Cynthia knows
bus.
it all. She's just like,
My laptop, and Justin even said, this is the laptop to get. And maybe, who knows?
We're going to kidnap Cynthia and take her laptop.
Go ahead, Dale. I'm sorry.
So there was a contingency plan in case Forrest got kidnapped. It had to do with some of the members of his family, including Creighton Fenn and me. And basically the plan was that if Forrest were to disappear,
The backup plan.
he would take them somewhere, if he was kidnapped, where we would know where he took them. So there was a plan that said, if I'm Forrest, I'm going to take these guys to this place where everybody knows I'm going to take them. Dale, Creighton, the cops will all be there waiting.
Right.
Okay? So that was the plan. And now think about this for a split second. If you're Forrest Fenn and somebody has kidnapped you and is threatening perhaps your family if you don't fork over $1.5 million worth of treasure, where are you going to take them? Are you going to take them? Say that again?
The furthest away from the treasure.
The furthest away. Well, what happens if... I personally think that's a bad plan. And I say that because if Dale and the cops and Creighton aren't there, then what do? You say, oh, I was just kidding. We actually have to go back to New Mexico because that's where I really hid it. No, I don't think so. I think you're going to plan to take them someplace close to the treasure. So that if Dale and Creighton and the cops aren't there, you can take them to the treasure.
I think that's reasonable, and also an area that you maybe terrain or an area that you know well. In the event that you get out there and happen to get away, it's an area that you know well enough where you can kind of outmaneuver them potentially. Just a guess. Yeah.
Well, the area that was chosen was out in front of the Dude Motel.
That makes sense.
So, for whatever any of this is worth, there you have it. It's all true, I swear, except for the things that aren't true.
When you say the front, you mean shoot them up out in the street, or you're going to go into the forest?
No, the entrance, there's that that path.
Yep.
If you walk across the street from the Dude, you're in the national park.
Yep.
Yes.
And there's a sign there and a trail that goes back to the Madison.
Yep.
And so right at that sign was where we were going to
Can you
go.
imagine if that's where it was the whole time? And I gotta believe that
It
area.
can't
was-
be. That's Montana. You're not actually in Wyoming yet.
That is true.
Yep.
Real quick from Because I Can. I know who you are, by the way. He says, $1.99. I sold 11 beaver pelts to give you this. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to try and catch up with some of the Amy Seeks questions. Let's see here. If I can go back. Maui Bob, awesome show and content. Thanks. You're welcome, Maui Bob. Thank you very much. Aloha. Huli. What's it say? At Fenzi, please use at Amy Seeks. Oh, to ensure your comment. Yes. Texas James at Amy Seeks. Have you discussed Jack being the lead searcher? And for this reason, Forrest chose him to retrieve the chest. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right. If Forrest had any indication that someone was like this close, would he have chosen them as someone who, it's like, oh, they're going to figure it out. Let's make sure they figure it out in time. I get that. One more, Davio 22. Amy Seeks, please ask Dal Neitzel, Fort Fetterman Road, ? Dale, do you know anything about Fort Fetterman?
I do know a little bit about Fort Fetterman, and only because today, on this last trip I took, was the first time I ever went by it.
Aww. At some point, we're going to share pictures, even though you people just want Forrest Fenn stuff. I get it. Adam Foddy, Amy Seeks. Can we hear Cynthia's thoughts on Forrest potentially ending the chase? Bobby D, Amy Seeks. Does Dale have any paper trails from any correspondences that Forrest mentioned ending the chase? And
Yes.
and then Bobby D. Ooh, yes, there you go. Boom. And Bobby D. That is why Forrest's last request letter to pour water on the road in front of the Dude. He was giving hints.
Possibly.
So Forrest, what was the tone of the ending the chase thing? Why would he even bring that up?
Well, I like I said
Is it
earlier,
just
I think,
the 7
Forrest
percenters?
was, I think, that, it had finally gotten to him 9 years of this. Well, there wasn't 9 years of negativity, but certainly the
like
last
7,
5 years,
right.
well, there was a tremendous
Yeah.
amount of negativity, and it was building and building and building, and it was relentless, and it was
And it was
constant.
against his
I mean, I
family.
don't know
It
how
wasn't
many
just him.
adjectives I can use to say that it was just getting worse and worse and worse for him. And Forrest had a tremendous amount of resolve. I mean, he wasn't going to give in. Just out of spite, he wasn't going to give in. But
So him.
but this, this was just too much, and he was ready to stop it.
Maybe I could ask it this way, Dale. Do you think he was expressing an emotion or forming a plan?
That's another really good question. I always thought he was forming a plan, but you could be right. He could have just been, I don't know. I'll ask my buddy Dale, see what he thinks about it.
Right,
he
because
could have
you
just been.
ran the blog that people were in. You would have had a great idea of.
And we
how-
did talk about things. There were other things that we talked about from time to time like that. He would use me as a sounding board. I was neutral, but I was a searcher. So he could have just been curious about how somebody who was a searcher would feel about that.
Was it a frequent thing, or was it just this one-off kind of thing?
No, it was one-off. It was. There were other times. For instance, when the chief cop in New Mexico wanted him to
Asked.
stop.
Yeah.
And
right.
and I can remember specifically Forrest writing me a note about that. We already knew about it, but he wrote it. He wrote a note to me, and he said, even so and so wants me to stop the chase, but these guys have no idea how strong I am. I mean, back at that point, this was a no-brainer for him. This was, he was feeling strong, and the deaths alone were not going to be enough, and the accusations alone were not going to be enough.
Well, the deaths were so. So one time when I was visiting with Forrest, I was pretty upset about Randy Bilyeu, because it tainted everything. Right? It went from this beautiful thing to being something where someone made a mistake.
Well, and you
cost them their
you
lives.
knew Randy, didn't you? You had met Randy.
Yeah.
So-
He wrote a very sweet thing in my book when I had everyone sign it.
Yeah.
And I met his dog, and I always felt bad because he started talking about everyone. I don't know why, but people really love to tell me their solutions. I guess I have a trusting face. And I always felt bad. Forrest. So when I was with Forrest, I said, I was just like, this has to figure things out. I'm like, I think I can get an airplane where it's a lot slower than a Lancer 360, where we can really, because Cynthia was in a Lancer 360 doing it, and I'm like, I think we can get an airplane that's a lot slower, that can really kind of check things out in there. And he's just like, why is this bugging you so much? And I'm like, because it taints everything. It goes from being a beautiful thing to being something where, it's cursed, right? That cursed thing, which granted will get it propaganda, but it was really sad for me. And so I actually ended up getting an airplane from a friend of mine, and we did look in that area. Of course, we didn't find anything. We didn't have like any kind of any way of judging. Like if you do it fast enough, you can try and get warm body temperatures, right? That's the goal. Something that's distinct from the cold ground. But Forrest was just like, why is this so concerning? And I'm like, because now it's different. Now it's something negative. Before it was this purely exciting, beautiful thing, and now someone lost their life. And yes, that will get it attention, and it will get it this legendary status, but it was just really bugged me. And he goes, well, maybe Randy is somewhere, maybe he found the chest and he's somewhere in Mexico, right, living life up. And I'm just like, okay. Right? I'm just like, okay. I didn't understand that comment because I'm like, obviously he wasn't searching in the right place. But it just seemed like this change. It had changed things. And now somebody had died doing this. And then, of course, we had, 2 or 3 more that had died looking for this? 5 more?
5 total.
5 total. So it's a no-brainer that people in search of gold, right, risk more. Cynthia, you actually told a story where you were searching and you risked a little bit more than you should have as far as where you were searching because you thought it might be it, right? That's what happens.
I don't remember. But yeah, I probably did.
You were searching with Molly and you were like, I shouldn't have gone there, but I really thought it might be it, and so I went for it, and I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, probably. I don't remember. But I'm sure I did.
So it
Was
changed.
it in New Mexico? Well, it had to be New Mexico,
Yes,
right?
it was New Mexico. Yes. Yeah. So that changed things a little bit. And Randy's dog, of course, I was like, I asked you, I was like, does Randy's dog need a home? And Forrest was like, no, it's okay. Randy's dog is taken care of. But yeah, he was curious about why I cared so much. And I'm like, well, because he was, he was just so much a part of that. I met him at La Fonda and his dog. And it wasn't necessary for him to lose his life. And that's what bugged me the most. It wasn't necessary, right? Forrest said over and over and over and again, you know, it's not in a dangerous place, relatively speaking. So that was why I had such a hard time with that. And what was I talking about again?
You know, not too many people remembered this, but Randy was on the blog, and he was sending, particularly the past, well, ever since La Fonda, he had been submitting photographs of himself and his dog. He liked to take pictures of his dog and
Yes.
you know, perched on the hood of his car with a cactus behind it or whatever. And he and he would send those in and say, you know, I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. And I'd post a picture and I'd post what he had to say. And so he had been on the blog. Many of the people who were on the blog at that time were quite familiar with him, even though they hadn't met him. So yeah,
Yes.
it was a.
His
It was
dog was so adorable, a little cross-eyed.
and so was Randy. I mean, he was just a really sweet guy.
He was.
You know, he wasn't a big bruiser kind of guy. You know, I remember at the La Fonda, one of my fondest memories of La Fonda is that was that book signing for
Yes.
the wasn't it the
Gaspard.
Gaspard book?
Yeah.
Gaspard, yes.
And
That goes right back
and
to
so
that.
all these searchers, you know, there were like 3 people there who actually bought the Gaspard book.
I
The
did.
rest of us, it was 100 of us there who
was
were
like
there who were
$100
searchers and had never heard the name Gaspard before.
the
but
book.
but what was I've forgotten his name. The name of the guy who came with the big dog.
Oh, Jeff Birch.
Jeff Birch.
Birch.
Yeah, that's right. And he had a big dog.
Titan. The dog's name.
Titan, you're right. Yeah, absolutely right. So Jeff Birch is there, and his big dog is roaming around free. Jeff has him on a kind of a leash. He's this big, intimidating dog, you know, kind of a mean
Oh,
looking,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
big red dog. And Jeff Birch himself looks like a prize fighter. He's got scar tissue under
He
his
does.
eyes.
He's a tough
You know,
nugget.
he's a sweetheart, but he just, you know, you don't want to meet him in a dark alley. I mean, he looks intimidating. And
Much love, Jeff.
yeah, and so all of a sudden in walks Randy, unintimidating little guy, and he's carrying his little dog in a dog carrier, like, you know,
Yes.
it's a ferocious, mean animal that he's got to keep penned up. And I remember Jeff's big dog was looking inside the carrier, trying to make eye contact with Jeff's little dog, and it was just kind of funny and humorous. But they were great fun. They were both great guys. And then Jeff
Yeah.
went out and he was a truck driver, and he had a stroke.
He did. He
And,
did. He had a tough time recovering, but he did.
It took him forever to recover. I remember, you know, he just disappeared off the blog. Nobody knew why. He just disappeared, and then all of a sudden, one day he wrote a comment on the blog, and his comment made no sense. The letters were all screwed up, and the words together didn't make a sentence, and it was like, you know, what the hell has happened? Did Jeff go crazy? Is he, you know, did he do a bunch of coke last night or something? I mean, what the hell's going on here? And finally he was able, somebody came online and explained to us, I think it was his wife or somebody came online and explained to us that he'd had a stroke and he couldn't, you know, he was going to try and continue on with the search, but, you know, he was going to have a long recovery ahead of him.
Right. And he
Couldn't-
actually attended another Fenbury.
Yeah, he was at the last one, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the last real Fenbury.
And he brought Titan.
Hey, speaking of Fenburys, will somebody please talk about when and where the next one is?
Well, go
it's-
ahead, Cynthia.
It's the weekend of Forrest's birthday, so it's August 22nd, which is a Sunday. So I believe it's actually going to be August 21 and 22. Hyde Park again, unless they close the forest due to fire restrictions, which is a very great possibility. If New Mexico doesn't get rain they'll never end up having it, I don't think. But let's just all just keep our fingers crossed that
Yes, but
that Santa Fe gets rain.
if Hyde Park cancels out, I mean, we're thinking about organizing it in a different way because Jamie Jordan, obviously, she's working her butt off to get it going with Hyde Park. But if Hyde Park closes, you know, I'm open to figuring out how to make it work anyway.
Okay.
The problem is, Dale, that's the weekend of the Indian market in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
It's the weekend. All hotel rooms are full, and if they're not, they're $500 a night. But
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, it's a horrible weekend if we have to find alternate facilities. But let's play it by ear and see what happens.
I'm a good event planner.
So, but you're committed to doing it in Santa Fe.
It's Jamie's event.
So Jamie Jordan, yeah.
I just wonder. Iron Will contacted me the other day, and he asked me.
Hi, Iron Will.
And he contacted me, and he asked me where it was at, and I said I think it's in Santa Fe, but I wasn't sure. So, I know there must be other people out there who don't know exactly where it's at either.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I think it was a Facebook thing where Jamie talked about it. A show of hands on the panel. Who's going? Awesome.
Is that a hand, Dale?
What's that?
That's
Was
okay.
that a hand?
We'll go and
Have
pick
your
up
hand
Dale.
up,
Oh,
Dale.
I lost contact for a few seconds there. I don't know. So
Are
somebody
you
asked me to raise my hand. I didn't hear that.
Hey, Dale, raise your hand.
Are you going to the Fenbury? If
I
you
don't
want to
know.
raise your hand.
Oh, I see.
That's
I
okay.
just don't
We'll
know.
pick you up. We're gonna pick you up.
Yeah.
I have a vehicle that's large enough you can camp in the back of it, and I'll pick you up. I have some really great manly wet wipes, so you're good to go.
I'm not sure why I need those, but okay.
It's because I don't know if you remember this, but it's stuck in my mind. But when we were doing when you were doing the interview with Forrest and I totally messed it up. I was talking to you about Esmeralda, and you showed me these Clorox wipes, and I'm like, oh, dear Lord, no, not Clorox. That's not good for you. So you may have something in the mail soon.
All right.
That is more manly for your disinfecting purposes.
Okay.
And you can use those in my LR4.
What could be
and
more manly than Clorox? Come on.
I'm telling you, you'll see. You'll see. They're coming in the mail.
All right. All right.
So, so those are coming your way. So we'll just pick you up and because Fenbury isn't Fenbury without you, Dale. Just saying.
So, Amy, I know where you live, and I also know where Dale lives. So when you say on the way,
I mean, because of all the super chats that have blown me away and made me pee my pants, I will go out of my way and use gas mileage
fly Dale down there.
to get Dale and bring him to Fenbury. And I do have to apologize. It's a little hot in here tonight. My thermostat broke and has been pumping out heat for the past few hours. So it's a little toasty here.
Which reminds me, so Santa Fe in August, it sounds like a dream to me. We're talking about some heat, aren't we?
So you're saying I need to get you a room at the Hilton as well, Dale? Fine, whatever I got to do. Hey, we got some super chats. I'm sure it will pay for it. Let's see from the chat. Bobby D. Amy Seeks. That is why Forrest's last request letter to pour water on the road. Oh wait, we already read that one. Sorry. Packer Jack. Amy Seeks. Can you ask Dale if he ever visited DeLacy Creek and or Shoshone Lake? The GPS solve would be 100 yards from that trail.
I'm thinking. Forrest would have known that I took the east road out to Cody. But not necessarily for that trip. I mean, looking for the treasure. We went there earlier trying to film grizzly bears. And DeLacy Creek, I don't think I'm not sure where DeLacy Creek is, but I don't think I ever went
in
there.
the background. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
If you went out the east entrance to Cody, you would have driven right by the DeLacy Creek Trailhead parking lot.
Okay. Well, then I was by it. And Forrest would have known that.
Okay. Because we're totally going to figure out where you were. Albert Camus. And Albert, would you please tell me how to pronounce your last name? Because I'm sure I'm messing that up. Amy Seeks, in my opinion, the deluge of scrapbooks Forrest published at the end of 2019 is what helped Jack find the chest. No conspiracy. Opinions?
No, Jack found it. He knew the spot from his first search in 2018. So it had nothing to do with scrapbooks published in 2009. In my opinion.
Dale?
And a good opinion it is. I have no opinion about how Jack found it, you know. But in my personal belief is that the scrapbooks helped no one find anything. I mean,
Don't say that, Dale.
Jack,
You break my heart.
if you go through the Reddit Q&A, I'm pretty sure that's where Jack says there was nothing in the scrapbooks. I believe he actually addressed scrapbooks,
He did.
and he said there was nothing in them.
It was
That
very
helped him.
heartbreaking. Okay. All right. Next up, CJC. Amy Seeks, please ask Dale where he took the picture for Forrest of the shadow across the creek. Oh my goodness. There was so much controversy about this one. So, Dale, if you recall, that famous picture for the book where the shadow crosses the river.
well, I know you can ask Cynthia about that. I just sent her that email yesterday, I think. So, Forrest, God, when was that? Well, that was just before Too Far to Walk came out. I was in Yellowstone. I was searching, and Forrest knew that. And he sent me a rough draft of the book. Did I include that in the email, Cynthia? Yeah. So he sent me a PDF of the book, and he mentioned in the email that to look at the picture that they were going to use. It was a picture that looks very much like the picture that they ended up using. It was a picture of a stream with a shadow across it. And he said, we wanted to use this picture, but the photographer won't let us.
Right.
Can you take a picture? Did he say specifically mention Madison? He did.
I think so. I thought he did.
Yeah, I think
From
he
what I
did. He
remember.
said,
I thought he actually told you where to go. It was either Barnesville or Baker's, right?
No, he said Barnes Hole or somewhere along the Madison.
Right.
But it was the Madison. I do remember that.
Yeah, and he said, and see if you can get a picture like this. The light has to be right. Da 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 da.
And you were driving through that area, right?
Well, I was in that. I was probably camping at Baker's Hole anyway. That's where I usually stay when I'm out there.
Yes.
And Forrest knew that. He would have known where I was staying. And at that point, I think I was stealing after hours Wi-Fi from the either Grizzly Park or the ranger station there.
I have so done that so many times.
And so Forrest sent this note, and he sent the PDF of the book, and I looked at the picture. And, okay, so I went. And I think there was another letter after that where he said, it doesn't make any difference to me what stream it's on. I don't think I sent you that one, Cynthia. But he said I don't really care what stream it is, just so it works or something like that.
Right.
So I started out because of the light, because I knew I needed the light behind me because it had to look like it could cast this shadow.
Right, 'cause
Well,
that was the whole
basically,
point.
I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to include the shadow. So the first several photographs I took, I tried, I, I bought a cowboy hat and I got a walking stick
You bought a cowboy hat?
and I had a walking stick and I was trying to conceal the camera with my body.
Oh no.
Did you just turn your video off, Amy?
I did. I'm going to try and tone it
Okay.
down a little bit, but I'll be right back.
All right. So
I'm still
anyway,
here, I promise.
I tried to make it look like that picture of Forrest. And of course, my shadow looks nothing like Forrest's, about half Forrest's height and twice his width. So, it doesn't really work out very well. It looks like a dwarf compared to Forrest's shadow. But anyway, I send him these pictures, and Forrest sends me back a note quick. You don't have to include the shadow. Okay, all right, thanks. So then I start concentrating on getting what looks like a nice trout stream. Approximately the same angle with the light behind me, so that it's convincing that the shadow could fall across the stream. And I shot some on the fire hole. I shot some on Madison. I shot some on Nez Perce. I shot a bunch of them, and I started sending the best ones to his designer. And they selected out of the ones that I sent the one they wanted, and the one that they selected just happened to be on the mat. They didn't know where it was from, but it just happened to be on the Madison about halfway between, what would that be? Cable Cross and Baker's Hole. Because I had decided to walk the Madison at that point, and that's about how far I got when that picture was taken. So, and Stephanie was still real active on the chase at that time. And Stephanie and I were still good friends at that time. She was always active in the chase. I don't know what I meant by she was active on my blog at that time. And active on the chase at that time. And Stephanie and I don't know what that is.
Amy,
Oh, we're getting some feedback, Amy.
She was always active.
Amy, something else is playing.
There we go. Oh, she's on mute now.
Okay, so anyway, Stephanie and I joked about how we were gonna after it came out that I had taken pictures down there on the Madison.
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right.
Stephanie and I
Thanks,
decided
guys.
that we would set up a hot dog stand and T-shirt shack there on the Madison because everybody was going to go there looking for the chest.
A t-shirt shack?
Yeah.
I love that.
It was just a joke. We never did that.
You could have.
Something else is playing. Okay. Just saying. Someone.
Yeah, there's some music there somewhere.
Is it okay or is it bad?
No, it's just in the background.
Is it mood music?
I don't know.
Since Zoom can only deal with one person, if you got the music, it's just gonna.
Okay, got it.
And now, if you're the hostess, if you want to mute us all, that's fine. You can.
Hostess with the mostest, baby. There's some questions from chat. I'll go ahead and put those in. Let's see here. Texas James says, have you read all those books? Yes, I have. Most of them are reference books. So, yes, I have. Brian Gates, who I'm pretty sure is Josh Gates's cousin, but, who knows. Good night, all. We'll catch up later. Thanks, Amy Seeks. Always a hoot. Be safe, be kind, be positive, and have fun. Albert Camus says, I love your fan. Oh, thank you very much. Is that the ready? There we go.
No?
Wave Seeker says...
I was looking over your head looking for a fan, but obviously that was wrong.
It's this guy right here. I love it because it's a representative of Fraxels and very old Japanese artwork, which is kind of fun. Waveseeker says Dale could not have gone on that many. What the? Oh, Copper Dan's coming back. Hi, Copper. There we go. Waveseeker, Dale could not have gone on that many searches in Yellowstone before Forrest told him that he had been within 100 yards. Any more color on that?
I will say that almost all of my searches were relegated to around Ojo Caliente, Madison Junction, and then from Madison Junction all the way down to the lake. But obviously a lot of that's in Montana, so it wouldn't count today.
Well, Ojo Caliente. Ojo Caliente.
Yeah, but a lot of the Madison is in Montana.
Yeah, it is. That's a good point.
So only the part that's in Wyoming would be in play today.
Adam Foddy says, so I take it Dale never asked Forrest if he arranged to be ended. Did you ever directly ask Forrest? Did you arrange it to be ended?
Oh, no.
I know the answer to that. No. Bobby D, Amy Seeks, that was...
I did ask Forrest once, I will say this, I did ask Forrest once whether or not I would ever learn whether or not I'd ever learn what really went down. And he told me, yes, that I would. And then he died.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Great story. That sucks.
Whoa.
You
Wait.
might need to repeat that.
Oh, well, you didn't.
Wow.
So, but I
I'm
mean,
sorry, you have me frazzled. He said you would know the story.
Yeah, but that could have meant that he would tell everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, it might have. Yeah. I mean, I know he was supposed to do an interview with Mysterious Writings, right?
Oh, Jenny, Kyle.
Jenny Kyle, yeah. But no. Okay. This is when I should talk about my email that I got, right?
Yeah, what's your email?
Spill the beans.
Right. Yes. In just a minute. Yes. Bobby D says, Amy Seeks, that was a great, that was a great U.S. treasure hunt question night. Flashback, LOL. I keep asking the same question. 3D Bronze, Amy Seeks. I'll give Dale a ride to Fenbury. That will give him plenty of time to tell me about every single place he ever searched. And just so you know, 3D Bronze is a good guy and he lives near you. So beware, he's going to be picking you up to take you to Fenbury.
Okay. All right.
Jason North.
It costs him money to get to the island. I just want to warn him ahead of that.
So, in case you're unaware, 3D Bronze is the one who makes the little 3D printed bronze chests, and I have one as well. He sent me one. It was pretty awesome because it's the closest I'll ever get to having the chest.
I'm completely unfamiliar with them.
Oh, really? Oh, you've got to check them out. I'll put a link in there.
So,
Okay.
For 3D Bronze, for the finale, printed a life-size replica. Not identical, but a close replica of the chest. And he filled it with glass vials, and we all wrote a note to Forrest on them.
Oh.
And he sealed it. And of course, the plan was to bring that to Forrest, and then Forrest died.
Boy, that's the story of our life, huh? And then Forrest died. Sometimes I think Forrest, it's all, just a big joke. Forrest is laughing. I mean,
honestly,
he was going to tell us, but he didn't.
I hope he is. I hope he is up there giggling. And laughing and having the best of time watching us all flounder around, I mean, that would be so Forrest. I don't
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. Forrest had a wonderful sense of humor. He loved camaraderie, and he liked to tease his friends. No
Oh
question
my
about
God,
it.
he did. The questions. Oh my God. I do have a question for you, Dale, from an anonymous searcher. Um, I would like to ask you about the home of Brown being a structure.
You mean, do I think it could have been a structure? Is that what
I
he's
don't
asking?
know. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Probably.
I don't remember everything Forrest said about that, but didn't that question come up to Forrest on Jenny Kyle's website at some point?
It
I
sounds
remember him
familiar.
saying that, the
Cynthia, what do you
the
think?
chest is not associated with a man-made structure, right? But I don't know if that meant the clues also or just the chest itself. I don't know.
Well, Cynthia can chime in on that. She had some follow up on that, didn't you, Cynthia?
I can't remember. Damn. Obviously, that's my answer for I will not discuss it. But thanks for
What
it.
on earth is going on here?
And the other thing, there's no point in anybody asking me about brown trout because that's a second thing I will not talk about.
Well, thanks for being here. Well, thanks for being here and taking up space, Cynthia.
There's some subjects that are off limits, and those, well, there's probably more than two, but those are two. So,
Well, jeez.
that's why I wanted you on the show. So you can talk about it, and I don't have to.
Oh, okay, but I'll tell you what. I'm going to talk about this particular moment on every show from now on.
This is the permanent panel on Amy Seeks. You're welcome, everyone. we're gonna... And yeah, I have somebody who says WTF. There we go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
WTF, see?
I do want to say something real quick, although I'm sure it will go on deaf ears. Just saying that red is so much better than tan. Just saying. That's all I have to say. All right, so 3D bronze. Oh, wait, no.
By the way, wait. The statement you just said about red and tan, are you saying that to a particular person who's actually watching?
I'm probably not watching. No.
Okay.
I'm
Listening.
just.
Is this person listening?
No, probably not. It's just out there. Just saying. No. Just saying, because it's true. Red is so much better than tan. Because it is. See? Red, tan. Which one do you guys like? All right, so Jason North Face, I'll bring the Cheetos. I know exactly what you're talking about. Bags and bags of Cheetos, baby. All right, Jason. CJC, Amy Seeks, please ask Dale where he took the picture. Oh, wait, no, we already asked that. Why is everyone so sure Jack actually found it on his own? We can only go off of what we have, heard so far as yet. We're not sure of anything because we know nothing.
Or what Forrest said. Which parts do you want to believe? I mean, did Forrest ever lie? Come on. Is the Pope Catholic? Come on. Forrest. Of course he lied. Did he ever expand the truth? Yes. Of course he did. Was he lying about anything about Jack and the finding of the chest? We all hope not. And most of us think not. Or I think most of us take what he said as truth. We don't think he would have lied about something as important as that.
And even if he did, I'm still focused on the Nook because we can find the Nook. The treasure was somewhere at some point. And I think we can find it. Hi, Kathy. Peter Jack says, did Dale ever visit Slough Creek or Box Canyon?
Never went to Slough Creek. However, Forrest sent me to uh, what was the lake where he bicycled? Where he
Yeah, with his coach, right?
yeah, yeah,
Grebe Lake. Yeah.
Yes.
Grebe Lake. He sent me to Grebe Lake with Porachista
He
to show
sent
her
you
that
there?
lake. So we did go up the trail to Grebe Lake.
What was that like?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, we hear the story about Grebe Lake. I blame the gin. We hear the story about Grebe Lake and bicycling it past that black limo, right, with the politicians in it. What was it like when you went there? Was it familiar in the sense
Well, that was
it
after
like-
the '88 fire, so it
Oh,
was
okay.
completely changed from when Forrest had been there. It was nothing but dead, burned trees the whole way.
Wow.
Out in the sun, the trail wasn't
Hi,
in the
Kathy.
shade anymore. And but
Wow,
Porachista had never been to Yellowstone, and Forrest set me up to be her guide.
Take her there.
Yeah.
Okay. We have one from K-Pro. Interview with Cynthia videoing it and my asking the question LOL. Uh-oh, that might have been a while ago. I don't know what that's about. Sorry. Next up, Gary. Hey, Gary, what's up? Dale is such a great storyteller. Can't wait to hear his stories in person again. We need to bribe him to go to Fenbury. We'll just pick him up. That's okay. I'll pick him up on the way. Mario Marchirano asked Dale if he ever went back to Xanadu to see Carl.
Oh,
Oh, did that come from who?
That was from Mario Marchirano.
No, I never went back there, but I have.
Hi, Bobby.
I was in communication with his sister for a while, and they were continuing on their plan. But no, I never went back there.
Okay, all right. Next is Rudy Green with a super chat for $11.09. Is the thrill of the mystery now? It's the thrill of the mystery now. Yes. Yes, I think there's a big part of us that is thrilled with the mystery. Agreed, Rudy. And thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, these are crazy. We're going to use these super chats to make an even better show every week. Next up, CJC back. Please ask Dale if he thinks anyone knows the location that is still alive. So, Dale, do you think anyone who knows the location is living with us right now?
Possibly. I think it's possible. I don't know that anyone knows, but I think it's possible.
don't you think the lawyers have to know?
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of them, but you're right. Yeah, certainly Carl must know.
And Jack's lawyer would know? I mean, they did all the paperwork. The lawsuit's still taking place.
I don't know. But ruling them out, I was thinking about, and I think this other person was likely thinking about, someone in the family or one of Forrest's close friends or something like that. And
Oh, I see.
and I think it's possible, even though Forrest said specifically that Shiloh did not know. I think Shiloh probably knows.
How about Doug Preston? Do you think that
No.
after it was found, you don't think?
No, I
Yeah.
don't think Doug Preston ever knew anything.
No, I know, but you don't think after it was found that Forrest would have told Doug, one of his best friends?
No, I don't think so.
By the way, quick hi to Doug and his wife, who are amazing people.
By the way, the reason I say that is because I had a conversation with Forrest about that shortly after it was found, and Forrest re-emphasized that no one knows. And he specifically said not even Shiloh, but I don't necessarily believe him about Shiloh.
But Forrest said Shiloh doesn't know.
Yeah, and he also said Doug Preston does not know.
Wait a second, though. This is like right after the chest was found, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, who's to say they didn't find out after?
Yeah, after he, right. Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, by then the Forrest had already passed away, though, so it wouldn't be Forrest telling those guys. Jack didn't come forward. The finder didn't come forward until after Forrest passed away.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm thinking is that Forrest is saying that he didn't tell anybody what it was.
Exactly.
But in spite of that, I still believe that Shiloh is likely to know.
Well, if anyone deserves to know, Shiloh deserves to know. But
Yeah.
we're going to say he doesn't so that nobody bugs him.
And the other thing is, and Jack went on at the Q&As, Jack said he offered the family to take Forrest's ashes there. Do you think that they would have said, well, where is there? I mean, I just can't believe that at least that Shiloh or Zoe don't know. But whatever, I wasn't there. Maybe they don't.
Well, if I had
Is this the
Forrest
point at
ashes,
which I asked Shiloh to chime in at any time?
Yes. Please.
if I was the family and some guy like Jack offered to take my grandfather's or my father's ashes and put them someplace I didn't know about, I'd tell him to go take a hike, you know.
Yeah. So in other
Oh,
words,
I see what you mean.
He would likely say where it was that he was going to take them, I think.
And I also wouldn't want somebody I don't know carrying away my relatives' ashes. I'm, for the next thing I know that my relatives' ashes show up on YouTube, or
I see
eBay.
what you mean. Okay.
eBay.
God.
Well, that makes me want to throw up. Okay,
But imagine
so
how much you could get. If his ashes would sell like hotcakes.
Cynthia,
Would you buy a package of Forrest's ashes,
Only
Cynthia?
if I could know for sure that it was authentic. You're damn right I would.
well, the thing is,
I
Cynthia,
carry
though,
him
I
around
mean,
with Molly. I carry
but
Molly.
yeah, for you it would mean something real, as
But I'd
opposed
have
to
to
it
know.
just being some kitschy thing.
I'd have to know they were the real,
Yeah.
not just some dead dog somewhere that was cremated.
So I'm going to change the subject
Yes,
Thank you.
to, let's see, the next one. Albert says, buy your Shiloh said Amy Seeks is cool shirts in the lobby.
Music is cool.
All right, moving on to the next one. Wave Seeker, Amy Seeks. Could you ask Dale if he ever searched northeast Yellowstone near Cook City or Soda Butte Creek? Cha-ching.
No.
Ooh, sorry about that. He says no. Davio 22, Amy Seeks. Please ask Dale, did you travel the dirt road to Medicine Bow?
No.
Ooh. Old Silo on the Farm, Amy Seeks. Ask the panel that question. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Fendi Jones, Amy Seeks. Carl Sommer told me he knew. Okay. All right. Texas
Well, there you
James.
go. The attorney knows. Well, the attorney says he knows.
It would make sense, but, who knows?
Well, I can't believe that. Cynthia's right. I can't believe that Forrest's attorney would not know.
It might be required legally, right?
Sure.
Right. Texas James, Amy Seeks. I think Shiloh retrieved the chest. Hey, Michael! MEH is in the room. Hey, Michael. Ohio gozaimasu.
Mike.
Yeah, there we go. He says, Amy Seeks, in my opinion, it's very unlikely that Forrest would have told anyone after the find. With all the lawsuits, the family needed deniability, plausible deniability. What do you guys think about that?
Okay.
maybe. I don't know.
It's possible.
Sorry, Michael. You'll have to come on the next panel. By the way, I hope Japan is treating you well. If you are still there. I know that you were talking about other stuff. Rudy Green, Treasure Hunter, Amy Seeks. What truth serum do you give the panel tonight? So it's a combination of vodka, gin, and some very powerful narcotics.
You told me it was lemonade.
Take another sip, Dale. Take another
Just
sip.
take another sip, Dale.
And
But
I
it's
just
fair.
wanted
I
to
drink it
say,
too.
It's not what you gave us now, it's what you promised us later.
Red or tan?
Red. It's all red.
It's a fan dance, right? All right, so yes, except for the lawyers, MEH. Yes, except for the lawyers. That's a good point. Michael, it's nice to see you again in the room. Texas James says, Amy Seeks, did Dale ever research above north of Hepkin? Did you ever search above north of Hepkin?
Yeah, sure. In pretty much that same area that
Ennis? Or
not that far.
earthquake?
No.
Earthquake.
Yeah, Earthquake Lake.
I love
And
that
up
area.
to Cameron, you know,
Yeah.
I looked in that area. But I never had any faith in it. I couldn't make the clues lead me there. I only searched in Cameron because that's where Forrest's mother died.
That was a
I mean,
powerful
yeah,
scrapbook.
Forrest's mother died.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a solution for the area. I just wanted to get a feel for the area. I wanted to walk around in it and see what it felt like. I had a. Did I ever publish this on the blog? I don't know if I did or not.
I think so.
Let's just say no and go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, go ahead.
I had Forrest's fishing log. Not Forrest. Forrest's father's fishing log.
Seriously.
And in it he talks. Yeah, it's a fascinating log. It's kind of a bit of a diary and a bit of a log. And
Holy cow.
Marvin kept it. He explained all the places he didn't explain. He listed all the places he would take clients. For instance, it would say July 14th, 1950, took so-and-so fishing, went to here and there, caught 3 rainbows, 2 browns, had lunch.
Gosh.
And it also talked, he also mentioned
Dale.
when he was doing things at Fennhaven, he would say, bought new refrigerators for all the cabins today.
Oh my gosh.
Stuff like that.
That is so fun.
And yeah, it is an interesting little thing. Forrest, I'm not sure Forrest knew I had it either. So I don't think I talked. I guess I didn't publish it if Forrest didn't know I had
I'll
it.
be driving to Lummi Island overnight. Just
Lummi Island, like Lummi. Lummi,
so
like
it is
gummy bear.
Lummi.
Yeah, like gummy
I
bear.
always said Lummi from that one video, but it's Lummi. It's Dal
Yeah.
Neitzel, and it's
Yeah.
Lummi.
Yeah.
It's kind of yummy.
I read that thing through several times, trying to pinpoint various places that maybe they went fishing. But it was of no use to me. Nothing, well,
didn't.
Here's what you can take from this. Virtually nothing is going to penetrate this nitwit's skull. You could have probably told me exactly where the chest was, and I wouldn't have heard it. So,
You probably walked over it, Dale, like multiple times.
Yeah.
So we have some more questions. I'll try and field these. Dark, D-A-R-K, which is Greg. A different Greg, just so you guys know. Greg Talks Chase Greg. He says, a Bill Cosby cocktail is what I gave you guys. Well, you know my secret now. Bobby D says, Amy Seeks, is Dale willing to post somewhere the Calazar's Facebook, etc., the correspondence from Forrest stating he was thinking about ending the chase? I'm guessing no. But if he is, it'll be on my channel.
Yeah, well, if I had some place to post it, if I was still keeping a blog, I would. But I'm not, so I won't.
There we go.
But I'm contemplating starting something where I can post some of this information because there's a lot
Dale,
more from
don't do it.
Forrest, and I think it'd be fun.
Don't do a blog. Just do Facebook. It's so much easier, and it's free.
Yeah, I can spell. No, actually, I can't spell Facebook either. Is it 2 words or 1 word?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm on it once a week.
Honestly, I
if
don't know.
that.
Okay, well,
I think
good.
it's one.
Welcome to the over 40s club, everyone. That's us. We'll work that out. I'll talk to Dale about it. We'll work that out. Maybe we'll convince him to get his blog back up. Except he won't have to run it. Maybe we can get. Wait, what was the? Oh shoot! What was the guy's name who helped you run it and then disappeared and we never
Goofy.
knew who? Goofy.
Goofy's still gone.
We still don't
Miss
know
that
who
guy.
he was. I know.
Yeah,
Justin, the little
I
lurker
kind of think
at the time.
Goofy's gone forever. I kind of think Goofy died. I don't
Goofy,
know.
if you're out there, contact us.
Yeah, I
Jimmy
wish.
Pete's
I wish he
Adventure
had
at
contacted me.
gmail.com.
You know, but I think if he was still around, I would have heard from him. I would have heard, well, it's over now. I can safely say hi again or something, but nothing.
Goofy, we would love to know who you were because you did a good job. CJC, please ask Dale where warm waters halt.
Don't you think I would love to know the answer to that? If I knew that, I'll tell you what I think it is. Again,
Ooh, tell us.
Ojo
Tell us.
Caliente and or Madison Junction. I
I'm
think
with
it's
ya.
one of those 2 places.
I'm with you. I'm feeling you. Peter
But
I
Jack.
think
have
a
no
lot of,
idea
a
what
lot
it
of us
means.
were stuck on that for a long time.
Yeah.
How can we not? It was so bluntly. It was on the nose, like there's no tomorrow. I mean,
Somebody posted a solve on Mike and Capro's Facebook page about the treasure being across the road, the other side of the road from Ojo Caliente and those trees. And it's like, I've been there so many times. Like all I had to do was close my eyes. I'm like, I know exactly where they're searching. It's like,
it was killer. Peter Jack says, Amy Seeks, did Dale ever visit Mummy Joe?
I drove by it
Me too.
on the road to Cody, but no, I never stopped there.
But you
So,
were-
and I don't know how far off the road it is.
It's exactly 100 yards.
100 feet. Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I actually did search it. It's not very far off the road.
And Cynthia, did Forrest ever tell you you were within 100 yards?
Not that I remember. No, I think I'd remember that. No, he never did.
He told Gotti
Oh.
Schwartz,
Yes.
because I asked Gotti Schwartz, because I asked Stephanie too, whether or not Forrest had ever told her that she was within, anything. I didn't tell her what he told me. I just wondered if, and she said no, he never said anything like that to her. But he told, according to Gotti, he told Gotti he was within some god awful distance, like he was within a quarter
Wasn't
of a
it-
mile of it or something like that.
It was something close enough, though, right? And didn't Gowdy mostly search North Yellowstone, Hebgen area?
As far as I know,
Cynthia.
Gotti
Cynthia.
only searched between Madison Junction and Ojo Caliente. Wait, and with one exception, he searched Red Canyon.
Where's that? I'm not familiar with that.
Hepburn.
but
Oh, that's
Hebgen.
Hebgen.
It's north
Okay.
of Hepburn Lake.
Witchred Canyon.
Okay. Which is
Yeah.
not in
Montana.
Wyoming.
Right, it's in Montana.
Okay. All right. J.W. Wood 13, Amy Seeks, can you ask Dale if he thinks Greg sucks? Oh, shit. I need to read these before I start talking.
Gotcha.
Well, moving on. Ellen K says Amy Seeks asked Dale when he almost died riding a bicycle through the dead of winter. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Cynthia just did a bicycle tour,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
And it was in the snow,
No, the
No,
road's there though.
no.
There was snow along the yeah. There
but
was
not
snow
on the
there.
road.
It
Well,
wasn't like
right,
your
there
experience, Dale.
Well, that's just because Cynthia isn't stupid, you know. If Cynthia were stupid, she could have had exactly the same.
She almost did. She ran with the buffalo. She
That's
ran with
right.
the bison, right?
That's
Yes.
right. I love that video. I love that video. What is it you
know.
say? Oh my God.
I want to go back to Gotti.
She
Forrest
falls
told
over.
Gotti he was within 1,000 feet of it.
Yeah, I
You know,
can't remember. I'd have to check Gotti's email, but it was it 1,000 feet? Is that what he said? Oh,
It
okay.
was something
Well,
like that.
1,000
Yeah.
feet and a quarter mile is pretty close.
Is it? I'm really good with
Yeah, I mean-
math, so
5,280 feet.
thank
in a
you,
mile.
Dan. Thank you, Copper
Sorry.
Dan.
Little math lesson for
To
you.
the rescue.
That's why he can make architectural objects and the rest of us can't.
That's right. When we do the giveaway, I'm going to show you his website so you can see some of his stunning copper art, which is just it's stunning, and seeing it in person is even more exhilarating because the way it glows and shines is quite impressive.
Dale,
and you can see his
Amy
little
doesn't
shots.
have one of my piece. Cynthia has a couple. Dale
Mm-hmm.
has one.
I tried to win a
Yeah.
couple of times. I do have a piece. It's just a little chest right there.
Well, that's not really a piece of my artwork. Though.
It's not the copper artwork, no. I'll get there.
No, that is made by entering a program written by 3D Bronze into a 3D printer and pressing enter.
Thank you, 3D
And 20
Bronze.
hours later, boom.
3D Bronze is kick-ass with that, isn't he?
Hey,
You want it?
Yeah.
Should we do the giveaway?
hey, Copper Dan, how long
Oh.
did it take you to make one of those pieces, the first one of each one of those?
You really want to know?
Yes, we so do.
30 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
First ones? Like
That's
when you
pretty
when you
impressive.
decide to make the very first one of
Okay,
each
so
one?
the very first one that you have, the warmer water salt, the number 01, the first one, it probably took a few days from the design concept into, getting it. And then actually the very first one I still have here somewhere because I didn't like one thing on it. So then I just set it aside, and then I made the actual first piece, and then it said, yes, this is it. And then I decided, okay, I'm only going to make 80 of them. And there we go.
And that took you about 40 hours to make the 80. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I didn't make them all at once. I made 10 of them
Oh,
in
per batch.
probably, the course of a day, and doing other things as well. But then, and then as the orders come in, I just fit them in, making a couple every day here and there. And
They're sure beautiful. I love the one I
thank
have.
you. No, and I wish, I emailed Jack and I said, so I've made Warm Water Salt, I've made Canyon Down, and I've made Too Far to Walk. The next clue would most likely be the home of Brown. And I said, could you push me in a direction to help me with the design that would most likely fit the place in? And he unfortunately declined. He said, I can't. And I really want to make the
Of course
next
he
one.
can't. He didn't find the chest. How would he know?
Oh my
I'm just saying that. Just to be funny.
God! Dale's going to hell. That's it. Dale's going to hell.
the other night we said enough stuff about Shiloh that he came on the show. Maybe if we said enough stuff about Jack, he would come into chat.
That is not my show. Although
I'm sorry, Amy. Drama free.
Drama free. Okay, so why don't we pick a winner real quick, shall we? So this is everyone who commented on the last two shows. We actually did both shows because we had a little bit of a hiccup as far as choosing which show. We didn't think it fully out. It was a last second thing.
Which is why Amy, I just told Amy, I'm like, well, just do comment picker. Well, we got two shows. So she literally, I don't know how long you spent doing that, but I know it takes a long time because I've done
It
it.
wasn't that bad. Not many people cared about commenting, so Are we ready? So this is to win a copper coin. Look at that. Look, and it's pure freaking copper, people. Do you guys know how heavy this thing is? So heavy. And I can't get it to
So
focus.
I'll tell you the story sometime, what that means on the back, Dale. I wrote a treasure hunt, and the blaze in the treasure hunt at the end of the little poem I wrote was a geo marker on the top of a peak in Minnesota, up the North Shore, up north of Duluth. And you had to you didn't know this, you had to figure it out on your own. You were supposed to lay the coin, lined it up with the geo marker, and it pointed your way, and it was 30 paces. And unfortunately, the guys that found it, I didn't think it could be found in the winter. Well, I never thought about a metal detector. And so they kind of bypassed it.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. I'm going to try and find your site real quick so we can share this as we do this. Too many websites here. I think that's the one. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so here is Copper Dan's.
Okay, so that's my YouTube. Which site do you want to go to?
Which one would we have the site for this, and we have, of course. So this is his actual work here. You can see how stunning this is. Oh, look at that, award-winning.
Do you still have that? You used to have a page up that, or a couple pages up that showed how you actually created the pieces.
Yes.
So
yeah, it would be on my. Yeah, I think there's some YouTube videos off the website. We've been interviewed, and we've had, we had somebody film us once, the whole process, and I wouldn't let them put the whole thing out without me editing it, because our process is a little bit secretive. Sure. And I don't want to show up the next art show and find like 10 other flame painters there.
And what's this I'm looking at?
All right, so I actually for my treasure hunt, I made an animated. So the treasure hunt was called "How to Turn Copper into Gold: The Magic Box."
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
That's
so
cool.
to kind of promote it, I had a animated thing done of the whole story I wrote. But
okay, very
click
cool.
into my website, Amy, please.
Sorry, say again.
Click into my website, Copper Elements.
All right, this one.
Yep. Now scroll up.
Okay.
And click on my the collection. Thank you. I couldn't see it. I don't even know my own website.
Clicking. It takes a second. Sorry. Click.
You live out in the sticks too with slow internet.
Oh my goodness! I'm in the middle of nowhere. Great view. No internet. Ah, here we go. Oh, look at them. Here they are. Because you've given away. How much have you given away as far as these? I mean, you've given away so much.
I
have
don't
Canyon
even.
Down, not too far to walk, Mountain Lake.
I made a fun one for the finale, and it's actually titled Finale.
Where's that one?
I don't even, honestly, I don't know if there's a picture of it somewhere, but not here.
I remember seeing that one. That one was spectacular. Bravo, sir.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah. And the thing is, until you see them in person, the way they glow, the way they reflect the light is really the big selling point, which is hard to capture in just the photographs.
Scroll all the way down real quick for me. And I know you guys probably don't want to like.
Oh, no. This is wonderful.
Okay, stop, back up. A little bit. Yeah, so this is some of my bigger, more stunning work, like the corner pieces, the piece called Rain. That takes a ton of hours.
Oh my Lord, that's huge.
It is.
How big is that?
It's 60 inches long and about 36 inches tall. You can't see it from that picture. It's not flat. It is sculpted.
This is for like fancy curves. Doctor offices and lawyer offices,
that
right?
That one is, yes. I've only ever sold 3. One is out by Dale in Seattle, in Bellevue. One is in Chicago, downtown, in some nice apartments. and then one is in Michigan. Some guy named Jack bought it for me like 3 years ago.
And for those of you who are interested in chase-related ones, we have, where we go? I think that's further up,
all the way
correct?
to all the way to the top.
Okay, scrolling all the way to the top. We have Mountain Lake, Too Far to Walk, Winsep Tree, Canyon Down, which I really love the Canyon Down one. I think I really love that one.
Okay, this one. Do you see the hidden F in the sky?
Where is it?
I remember you saying there was a hidden F. I searched all over. I can't find that F.
It's done with the grinding underneath the sky. So it starts in the top left-hand side, and you can see it swoop down through the tree and then come up. I wish I could run them. Yeah, I wish I could have the screen because I could show you. But
do you want to?
Do
you want to have the screen?
No, that's okay.
Okay, all right. It's here. Is that what you're saying?
I actually have a video on my YouTube page. If you go through my videos, there is a video that shows me talking about the hidden F. And I actually sent Forrest his piece, and he wrote back that he said he couldn't find the F, and I said, "How's it feel?"
You did not.
Oh, I did.
You did not.
I did too.
Did he respond to that?
No, that was about the time he stopped talking.
Is that when he stopped responding?
He doesn't like to be one-upped very much.
The last conversation I had with Forrest is I sent him Too Far to Walk, and he wrote back, "I got your piece. Thank you. If you don't mind, I'm going to give it to my granddaughter." And I said, that's awesome. And I believe that's our last email conversation shortly thereafter.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Oh, so this is the video. WWWH Copper Art Hidden F. Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
All right. There you guys go. All right. Should we do the drawing then? Are we ready?
Let's do the drawing.
Okay. All right. Without further ado, we've got. I'm sorry. That is my drink.
Now the coins. So the original coin was designed by Beth, the genetic blend.
Haveneck? Oh,
and
that's
then
awesome.
I took her. She really come up with the compass, which actually just worked for my solution so much that I had to tweak it a little bit. And then 3D Bronze, 3D Bronze actually did the official design on his computer program, and he 3D printed one and sent it to me. And then we tweaked it until we got it perfect. And then I sent that out to a company that made them.
How did you find the company?
Google.
Google.
Oh my gosh, you can find a ton of places that will make coins, but I
You can
chose
find
the
lots
one.
of things on Google.
It's run by all veterans.
Oh,
and I
really?
I'm a huge supporter of stuff like that. I'm like, I found they weren't the cheapest place in the world, but it didn't matter.
Okay, Dale's name is in this. I did not
If you
put.
pick Dale's name, I'm going to catch so much hell. I'm going to give a second.
Okay, are we ready, everyone? Okay, so this is everyone who commented on those last two videos. Here we go. I'm going to turn around. Not looking.
Did you put your name in there, Amy?
No, of course not. I have one. Okay, this is it. Set this down by Buffy. Here we go. Who is it?
A little closer.
Puzzle person.
Puzzle person. Okay. All right, puzzle. That's kind of a fun one. That's very cool. All right, puzzle person. Hold on. Let me put up the email. Do I have it handy?
Copperdad17@gmail.com.
I might not have that handy. Doe. Can you type that in chat, Copperdan?
Yeah.
Okay. So email Copperdan. You have officially, puzzle person, you have won one of these gorgeous coins. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Copper Dan. Yay!
You're welcome.
They're heavy. That's the thing. I mean, it's like a silver coin kind of heavy.
What do you think the next coin's going to look like?
Can we tease things? Can we start teasing things?
Oh, we always tease
Can we
things.
start
That's what you
teasing
got to
things?
do. That's
I'm not
called
saying that-
self-promotion.
I'm not saying that I know anything. I'm just saying that if you follow Copper Dan, eventually that might pay off.
Dale, I thought I was so crafty with how I designed this hunt and how I felt like Forrest in the clues, and I thought, oh my God, I've made this too hard. 2.5 days later, all that work and a couple of Minnesota boys. That's yeah.
I did the same.
So what happened?
Yeah.
Is this Zoom team worked on it, and there were 20 people in there from all over, and there's you get one from an area that just happened to recognize one of the clues really quick, and I just watched it tumble and fall apart. I'm like, no. And I catch call from K-Pro for the rest of my life about it.
No, I
That's
understand.
okay.
Vicious.
I did the same thing with Jenny Kyle. We conspired to make up some coins, and she hid them in the Appalachians, and she sent me one.
Jenny Kyle is freaking awesome.
She sent me one to hide
I
out
have
here
the
in the
very first one.
Cascades, and I hid it, and I came up with a great. I thought it was an incredible puzzle, and I can't remember. It seems to me it was like 5 or 6 minutes after I posted the puzzle, somebody had found it.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
amazing.
Ouch. I will do a treasure hunt at some point, especially after all those super chats. Are you kidding me? I owe you guys big time. I owe you guys. Crud. Okay, we have some more
Well, you
questions.
just wait, Amy. You just wait till some of us are drinking and we start super chatting because we get stupid.
I've been drinking. Can I super chat my own channel?
Probably.
I have to
They're
say,
going to take 30%, so don't do it.
I am still pretty blown away for everyone who did super chat. Thank you so much. I'll be crying later. Thank you guys. Thank you, Copper Dan, Wave Seeker. Oh my gosh. Amy Seeks. I'll be moving to White Rock, British Columbia in July. I can see Dale's Island from my kitchen window.
That's true.
Okay, we're gonna have a meetup there because my brother lives in Portland. Hi, Kathy. I keep seeing her go in the background. We'll have a meetup there. Yeah, my brother lives in Portland right now. He grows some very special plants. Old Silo on the farm says
Oh,
Amy.
special plants.
He does some very special plants.
Special plants.
Ask Dale what happened to Goofy Old Guy. We did. We don't know. Okay, next up. Sorry, I'm really behind. Oh, Chasing Indy. Oh my God. Message deleted by Hooli. What the hell? Chasing Indy, what
Wow.
happened? What happened?
Oh, she's in a little moody tonight.
Chasing Indy, what happened? $4.99. Okay. And like I said, Chasing Indy, I don't check Facebook like once a week, maybe if that. So text me. You have my number. GL Cannon, Amy Seeks. When a panelist says he had Marvin Fenn's fishing log and Forrest Fenn didn't know, why wouldn't you ask him how he obtained it? A natural question. I am a terrible interviewer. So, Dale, tell me, how did you acquire the Forrest Fenn fishing log?
Through
Marvin.
a different part of the family. Remember, Creighton Fenn is my good buddy.
That's
There
I
you
figured.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. I am a terrible interviewer.
I just like to point
I
out that
apologize.
Creighton didn't find the treasure either.
Hey,
Did Creighton ever
you
look
want to have
for
some
it?
fun? You want to have a little fun, Dale? Put that on eBay tonight.
Oh my God, you'd be so rich. Yeah,
Started at $1, and well, then don't worry.
and then
Go for
don't
more.
worry. I will. Yes, we're gonna talk after this, Dale.
Dale will pull up into a Fenbury in a brand new Ferrari.
Ooh, a Viper.
Well, Cynthia can do that. I think I sent it to Cynthia. Didn't I send it to you?
Marvin's fishing diary?
Yeah.
Well, not the actual tangible.
No,
thing.
Oh,
we
neat.
want
No,
the
it's
actual.
just a
We
digital
want the
version.
actual.
That's all I have.
Well, okay. I'll put it on eBay and I'll be driving a new Cadillac. And actual independent.
Nice, like Cadillac
And
Escalade.
and probably a lawsuit from Creighton and Terry.
At least. At least. I mean, it was the least they could do is a lawsuit. Yeah. All right. Greg Talks Chase. GTC, Amy Seeks. New GTC will be searchers sharing where poem lead them, their stories. I love that. Let's see here. Nomadic Madman, Amy Seeks. That hat makes the outfit. Thank you. Thank you very much. What have we got going on? Scrolling up. My goodness, you guys are chatty tonight. Holy cow.
172 people in here. I mean, I think that might be a new record.
Hey, we like to party. We like to share. What can we say? GTC ridged. Hashtag ridged for Dale at Copper Dan.
Rigged.
Rigged for Dale at Copper Dan. All papers say her name at Amy Seeks. Oh my goodness, scrolling up. Jack at Amy Seeks, wearing a hat will make you hotter. Trust me. Alrighty, moving on. Amy teases at Amy. Okay, moving on. Bobby D, I can't to solve the one in less than one day. Am I reading that right? Help me out, peeps. Hey, Bobby D, by the way. Missed you. I haven't done the Zooms for a long time.
Oh, I think he was picking on me that he had my poem cracked in one day, I believe it's.
If anyone had it cracked in one day, Bobby D definitely would have. He's pretty savvy. He got the golden ticket. He got a golden ticket. Wave Seeker, you're welcome to 86 you deserve it. Wave Seeker, blown away like you have no idea. I'll be popping some champagne tonight for sure. Alan K at Amy Seeks asking again, do Dale or Cynthia know anything about Forrest Fenn hiring lawyers after he hid the chase? Chest.
Only what we've already talked about. I know that Forrest, I was at his home in probably 2014, and he said that, like, either yesterday or last week, I talked to my lawyers about, the land it was on or however it was worded. So, I mean, it was what Forrest
he did.
Definitely after it was hidden. And Dale, I thought you had a similar story, but.
Yep.
There's
so
many. Go ahead.
He didn't hire. I mean, he's always had a lawyer. Carl has been his lawyer forever, and he had Carl go through the possibilities. But the question that I always think of when I hear that story is, well, if it wasn't on some kind of questionable property, why would he even ask lawyers? That means to me that it was on some sort of questionable property, and what comes immediately to mind is, of course, a national park.
Yellowstone. Yellowstoned. That might be a joke for another night. Okay. All right. So I'm guessing it's been. Thankfully, someone has let me know that it has been way past 2 hours, and I know that you guys are very tired and all that kind of stuff. So I'll finish up with the questions here, and then we'll wrap things up. Let's see here. Congratulations, of course, to Puzzle Person. Let's see here. GTC. I just listed the Marvin Fenn Journal for Dale as his proxy seller. Excellent. Pneumatic Madman. Did you say something about an email from Jack? Oh! Yes, of course. I'm so sorry. So I emailed Jack, and he is very sweet. He responds all the time. I asked him about, he dashed some hopes of mine. So I asked him about the potential that anything might have fallen out of the chest and left in the nook in the excitement of moving things around and everything. And the answer was basically absolutely not. So the hopes that something was left, like that emerald ring, I have this hope that this emerald ring, that Forrest doesn't know where it went and Jack doesn't know where it went, that maybe it was left. And Jack basically says, nope, it was thoroughly searched. Nothing was left. So there is nothing left in that nook except for potential bronze residue with soil analysis, which I will be potentially trying to find. But yes, that was the email from Jack. He's been very kind and he continues to respond and answer questions regarding those kinds of things. So thank you very much, Jack. The answer for that was no, but it basically, he said it would, he said it probably wouldn't stop people from looking anyway, right? So I think there's a little bit of a fear there that people are going to destroy the site, trying to figure out if it's the right site or not. And I think it would be good to not have that happen. I agree with Jack with that point. I hope that if we ever do figure out the actual space, that it becomes something that was as special to Forrest as it is to the rest of us. So that was the question. Okay, moving on. Bobby D. I can't wait. I don't know what that's about, but I'm sure it's good. Peter Jack says, can you ask Justin and Matt what they gleaned the most from what Dale has shared tonight? Dale, you're getting reviewed.
All three emails, Dale, those three emails were like mind-blowing. If you have any more you'd like to share and come on another time, I'm going to invite you onto Amy's channel for her.
I'll be driving out to Lummi
Especially that email about being within 100 feet, 100 yards. And I just would like, you to send me where you've been in Wyoming. Well, we know you weren't in the north, so you gave us a little bit. Cynthia gave us absolutely nothing tonight, so thumbs down to Cynthia, which is used to be my favorite person in the world. But maybe she'll share stuff with me.
That's right. Don't forget to like or dislike the Cynthia. And don't forget to subscribe because I will have more.
Cynthia's low-key
I'm
tonight.
Cynthia.
It's
She
because
is.
she's not drinking. I didn't send her
Yeah.
the same cocktail that I sent the rest of you.
Oh, I'm letting Dale do all the talking. Dale, this ought to get Amy 5,000 hits.
I just love getting
You
hit
tell
up, man.
Your emails, your secrets, and everything you said tonight. This should explode tomorrow.
And
You
as
think
usual,
so?
Justin is a man of few words, but when he does speak, listen.
Yeah.
So Justin and Matt, your opinions of tonight's information.
Go ahead, Matt. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's interesting to me that Dale was the recipient of an email in which Forrest was, we're not sure, wishing, hoping, planning something
Contemplating.
about the end of space. He hadn't
Yeah,
anticipated
that's
a lot of the negativity and the deaths and so forth, and reached out to him. At the same time, Dale is not, even though he has that information, he's not feeling the need to therefore run to a conclusion, but to kind of leave it in that limbo place where you don't have all the information, and so you're left with questions. I mean, that's kind of where I am. Although, Dale, I don't know how much you've kept up with things, but people have found AGK videos where in 2018, where Jack called in twice, and he basically just popped up here and there as a normal, inquisitive searcher. And so that's the point where I get snagged with the conspiracy. I get to this idea of Forrest, picking somebody. As soon as he says that, he's said something he shouldn't say, and the whole thing could be invalidated and ruined. And so, anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Jack was also on the blog, but I think, as far as I can tell, only once. And
Oh, that's right, on your blog, right?
yeah, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yeah,
Right.
I say it
The blog.
Yeah, right.
Agreed.
Only once, and I looked it up, and now I cannot remember what it was he was curious about, and now the blog is gone, so I'll never know.
Best blog ever. Safe, sweet.
Someday I'll
Best
reincarnate it, and then I'll sell that.
Hell yeah. It was such a beautiful thing. It was a safe place to go. You know, it was a safe place to go. Justin, you haven't given us your opinion.
Well, I just want to thank Dale. I really appreciate you coming on and having the discussion.
Yeah.
And I know that the community really appreciates any sort of information to help kind of drive any sort of resolution. I don't know if we'll ever get there or not, but I do really appreciate your time. What I'd say is, I think being a healthy skeptic is reasonable. And I think that, given that Forrest had declared that he was, at least the thought had entered his mind to end the chase, it doesn't necessarily mean that it ended, in a fabricated way, but, there is a non-zero potential. So I think we all have to recognize that possibility does exist. It's just a question of how likely that is. I think generally I like to think the best in people until they give me a reason not to. And I think there's a lot going for Forrest to say that this is legitimate. There is nothing fishy that happened beyond him being a person. He was a human. He doubted his actions from time to time, and he needed someone to bounce ideas off of, and Dale was the guy to do that. And that, I think that's a testament to Dale, and that he's a level-headed guy, and that he can have that sort of conversation and confidence and with that level of respect. So kudos to
confidence until today, and then
Yeah.
all bets are off. But see, I know he can't sue me anymore. So
There you go.
That's true. No, I mean, it was pretty clear how when we went to lunch that one time when you were going to film Forrest about, another interview set. And we went to lunch, and then we went to his home. Forrest was so much more relaxed and open around you because he knew that he was kind of safe around you. And I think that said a lot about how he trusted your opinion, and he trusted your viewpoint as far as what you saw on the blogs and all that kind of stuff. I think it was very important. And
he knew I was never going to find the chest, and he knew I knew nothing, and he knew I couldn't remember anything, so he knew that I was safe.
It was funny because I remember when we were filming, when you were filming, and I was totally messing the whole thing up, and and Forrest talked about his backup plan then as well, and I'm sitting there, right, and he's talking about the Creighton thing and the backup plan thing, and I'm just going, like, internally I'm just like, oh my god, what? Oh my god, what? And externally I'm like, interesting. How many times, Dale, did you have that moment where Forrest would say something to you that was just like, what? But then you were like, on the outside, you were like, cool, interesting, didn't know that.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the way you play it. That's the way you don't want to interrupt that.
I know.
That so you don't go, because then he'll stop. So you just go.
Yes.
On the inside, you're screaming.
So I'm not the only one who experienced that like over and over again. Okay, that's good to know. All right, let's finish up. Let's see here. Jack. The head dissipates heat. That's all. I'm not sure what that's about. Check out 3D Bronze's puzzle, Tell Me Who, It's very good. 3D Bronze has a website, by the way, you guys. GTC, I can attest, drinking influences literacy. Hooli, thanks, Amy Seeks, Dale, Cynthia Meacham, Justin, Matt, and Dan. Pneumatic Man, what about your email where Jack said he was within 6 feet of the chest? What does the panel think of that? Who was in six feet of the chest? Oh, where Jack was in 6 feet and missed it, or what am I missing?
Jack was, I think in 2019, he was 6 feet from it and didn't know it.
Well, there was also a case in 2013. There was a Facebook message from Stephanie. I actually have the message here. So she mentioned that she was invited to a lunch with Forrest, and after a book signing, and Forrest had said that she would faint if she knew how close she was.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And she was invited to that lunch, and the next day, and he said that she was 6 feet away. But then apparently that changed because she was invited to a party for Forrest by the owner of Collected Works, and he had just said at the book signing the day before that she'd faint, but if she knew. But at the party, apparently he revised the statement to say that she was no closer than 12 feet. So at some point she had said, Forrest had said 6 feet, then it changed to no closer than 12, and it's like, yeah, those statements are just, it's tough.
Well,
Okay.
no closer than 12 could mean she was 10 miles from it.
Right. Yeah. It
Yeah.
just completely negated the previous day. Like, imagine going to sleep
But
that night thinking I was
that's
6 feet.
Forrest. And
Yeah.
and I can remember when Stephanie was tearing West Yellowstone, the town of West Yellowstone, apart. And
That's right.
and it had to be because Forrest was giving her encouragement. I mean, Forrest, she wouldn't have been looking. I can't believe, that she would have been looking next to every tree out there if Forrest wasn't saying, "You're getting hotter. You're getting hotter." I mean, there had to be something going on there.
Right, right. A little nudge, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Fendi Jones says, thanks to everyone on the panel. Jason Northface, who is a sweetheart, says, great show as always, and thank you to the panel. And Carrie Galloway says, at GL Canon, Amy Seeks plays stuff in her videos. I don't know what that means. 3D Bronze, Amy Seeks. If we're thinking logically, it's safe to assume that any one of us would consider ending a treasure hunt where several people had died and where our family was seriously at risk, right? Yeah, so just, I guess, my own little PSA on the whole thing. I obviously focus on the Nook because the Nook existed. In my mind, I'm pretty sure 99.9999% the Nook existed, right? There was a treasure hunt out there. Everything else is potential, yes, maybe, or whatever. But after experiencing a little bit of it personally and seeing what Forrest and his family went through as far as all of this is concerned, if any of it had ever been constructed, I would only feel empathy. I have zero part of me being upset, angry, anything like that, except towards the people, the 7%ers that may have caused that to happen. So personally, that's how I've always felt about it. I'm like, I whether it had been or not, would I want to know? Of course I'd want to know. But would I have any animosity at all towards Jack or the family or anyone? No, of course not. Because I know what the family went through, right? So I would only feel empathy and be like, yeah, I totally get it. And if I ever found out, hey, we found out this and this happened and something was constructed or something was nudged or anything like that, I would only feel empathy. And I would feel sadness about the fact that it had to have occurred that way because of the dark side of humanity, right? The 7%ers, the people who would have made things really difficult for the family. So that's kind of how I've always felt about that part. That's my own little PSA. Now, Cynthia, I think Cynthia wants to jump in right now with her PSA about bear spray.
I'm not prepared. Yeah.
Could we get a sample?
Make sure you know where you're pointing at before you pull the trigger.
Don't carry it in your front pocket, I think would be
With
the
the
advice
trigger-
you would want to give.
With the trigger guard off. Yeah.
I believe it was deeper than the front pocket. Was it? No?
It was actually in the front pocket.
Okay, all right. And it was very orange.
And it makes your skin very orange. Yes, it does.
So if anyone would like to
Wait,
see the...
is this from your last trip, Cynthia?
No, I think she's talking about until whenever that was, 18 or 19.
It's on video. It's on her website. So it's on her YouTube site. So if you go to
It's not
Cynthia's
re-
YouTube
Oh, I
site...
thought maybe you did it again.
No. Oh, hell no. I won't even carry bear spray after that.
Cynthia's going
I'd
to teach
rather-
me all about bear spray.
I would
I wonder what happens if you spray that in the face of a bison.
Ooh. Ooh, they probably just charge.
I think they
Yeah.
just butt you. They just kill you with their head.
Yeah. Their huge head.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Okay, all right. So a big, oh my goodness, another $10. Oh my God. You guys are killing me. A $10 from AM. Thanks for the drama-free show. I don't know, you're kind of dramatic. You're welcome, AM. Thank you so much for the $10. Holy shnikey doodles. You know, I mean, that kind of money is hard-earned money. I mean, that's huge for me. That's really huge. And I'm going to just reinvest it in everything that goes into this show. I guess I have a job now, huh? Uh-oh.
Well, that means you can, any costs associated with this are tax
Yep.
deductible.
So, like my Epidemic Sound subscription, the Zoom subscription, oh my God.
Yeah. $15 a month, you know.
Yeah. I can feel a lot less guilt now when that bill comes due, and I'm like, it's fine, it's my hobby. 3D Bronze says, not saying Forrest did end it. I don't think he did. I'm just saying it's something anyone would logically consider. I know I would logically consider it. Davio22, Amy Seeks, FF was the imagination igniter. Yeah, who all here misses Forrest? Cynthia, don't start crying. So, yeah.
Terribly.
There was good and bad about him. Of course, he was a normal person like anyone else, but once in a lifetime thing that occurred. So I think we'll end it there. What do you guys think?
Yep.
We'll end the stream. Okay, hold on. I'll go ahead and end the stream first. I think I know how to do that after last time.
Hey guys.
Holy
Yeah.
shnikey doodles, you guys. Really amazing time. And let's see if I can do this correctly. There we go. I see it. Amy Seeks YouTube. Yeah, we're just going to save this. No, it's not made for kids. It's funny how they do this. Okay, we're ending the stream right now, you guys. I'm going to...
Bye. Thank
I
you for
can't-
letting me come in.
Yeah, you guys, I am kind of blown away by the live chats, Waveseeker, Mike, Calazars, and Copper Dan, and everyone. Thank you guys so much. I had just the best time. This is just such a wonderful time in my week. So I'm going to go ahead and end stream now. You guys, I love you so much. And, oh, yes, Dark, I will be going on your show soon, too, as well. All right, you guys, take care. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye. Okay.